Now we move on to Dave Shelley and Chainsaw for February 6th, 2004.
Sister Mary Margaret was in a quandary.
Ooh, I'm having a dickens of a time solving this one.
Father Pat McGroin, the local priest and headmaster of the school where Sister Mary Margaret taught, was passing by and offered his services.
May I be of some help this morning, Sister Mary Margaret?
Oh, good morning, Father Pat McGroin. Oh, dear me. I just can't decide on whether or not to promote little Corky Feldstein onto the second grade.
Feldstein. I don't recall seeing him in my after-hours latex-lined penalty halls.
Oh, no, Father. He's a very good young boy. It's just that I don't know if his mental skills have developed enough to pass him on up to the next grade.
Father Pat wrinkled his brow for a moment and then offered,
Well then, why don't you bring the lad by my office this afternoon and we'll give him the aptitude test. I'll help you score. And we'll make the decision. And we'll make the decision together.
Sister Mary Margaret was delighted with Father Pat's thoughtful and generous offer to help and made the appointment. Well, that afternoon, just after 3, Sister Mary Margaret knocked sharply on Father Pat McGroin's office door.
What knockers?
Well, oh, nice to see you, Sister Mary Margaret. And this little soldier must be Corky Feldstein.
Corky?
Ah.
I'd like you to meet Father Pat McGroin. He's the dean of students here. Say hello, Corky.
Hey, what you got underneath them robes there, Ramrod?
Oh, my goodness. He is the little pistol, isn't he?
Sister Mary Margaret explained what was about to happen.
Now, Corky, I'm going to ask you some simple questions. You just answer as honestly and truthfully as possible, okay?
Okay, sis.
Very well then, Corky. What do I have 2 of that a cow has 4 of?
Father Pat McGroin shifted uneasily in his chair, vigorously adjusting his robes.
Boner.
Yeah. And then little Corky's face lit up, and he blurted out,
Legs.
Right.
You've got 2 legs, and the cow's got 4.
Oh, that's very good, Corky.
Yep.
Now, the next question. What do you have in your pants that I don't have in my pants? Oh, this is just awful.
Father Pat McGroin. Father Pat McGroin spun in his chair, turning his back on the 2 and seemed to be struggling with something in his lap.
That's what they call it in my day was it off.
It's a lovely picture.
When little Corky yelled out excitedly,
I know. Pockets.
Right.
I have pockets in my pants, and you don't.
Sister Mary Margaret was delighted with her pupil's excellent work, patted him on the head, and sent him on his way. And when the door had closed and they were alone, Sister Mary said to Father Pat,
Well, Father, he got them both right. I say we move him on up to the second grade.
Oh, hell, move him up to 3rd. I got them both wrong.
remember how we were crying on Monday?
Yes.
It's Friday.
I know.
Friday.
Fabulous.
Friday. It's KGB. It's our job. We're at work. How about you? Mic's on. Hard at work. So I got an email from Janie who writes me, Dave, I went to the store the other day and I was only in there for like 3 minutes. When I came out, there was a damn cop. Damn cops! Writing out a parking ticket. So I went up to him and I said, come on, buddy, how about giving a gal a break? You know, Shell, you had a run-in with the law this week. You can relate to this. Remember when Officer Yummy ran you down on Monday?
I've remembered that many times.
Late at night.
Shut up.
With my robe slightly parted.
Shut up.
Come on, buddy, how about giving a gal a break?
Yeah.
He ignored me and continued writing the ticket, so I called him a pencil Nazi.
Oh. Well,
Is that
that's uncalled for.
Now, did you do that with Officer Yummy? Is that why he won't call you back?
No, I called him sir, and I apologized, and I said I'd never do it again, and I made all sorts of promises.
He glared at me and started writing another ticket for having worn tires. So I called him a piece of horse crap. He finished the second ticket, put it on the windshield with the first, and then started writing a third ticket.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dave, this goes on for about 20 minutes. The more I abused him, the more tickets he wrote.
Well, what do you expect?
Well, I didn't give a damn because my car was parked around the corner. I try to have a little fun each day.
Janie! Oh! Well, it wasn't my car.
You okay? Give me a funny look over there, big fella. You ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go.
You
David.
are next. All right. This is KGB San Diego, KGBB Temecula. Chainsaw Sports is next here on the 101. Good morning. Thank you for listening to us while we do our job at work. Who is that, Bromo? All right. Stand by. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, dude, I think you got to lay off Shelley and her law-breaking lifestyle. You criminal.
Her law-breaking lifestyle?
Yeah, you criminal.
Why am I a criminal?
I got a quick email to read. It comes from upstairs.
Oh.
Hello. Sorry for the short notice, but our first Employee of the Month winners would like their parking spots. So we have designated the first 4 spots to the left of the trash and recycle dumpsters. Doesn't pertain to you. And the 4 spots to the right of the second stairway, which is right by the big satellite dishes.
Jesus,
the first
God.
4 spots.
Why are we doing this horse crap?
If you are parked there tomorrow morning, please move your vehicle by 10:30. We will be permanently leaving cones in the designated spots. Please be courteous to the Employees of the Month and don't take their parking spots. Here's what I like the best. Thank you. P.S. If you are parked in the Employee of the Month parking spot, you will be towed seriously. That's from the upstairs people. Thank you.
You know what? I damn dare you.
That's what I said.
I double dog
I'd
damn
love to see
dare
it.
you. You go ahead and tow my car. You know what? Because if you tow my car, I'll be driving Glickenhaus's BMW home.
I can just see it 10:30. Dun, dun, dun. That's Dave Ricketts' car over there.
Yeah, you go ahead and tow my car. That's where I park every morning.
I know.
Exactly.
I park there every morning, and now all of a sudden it's Employee of the Month parking spot, and no one gets to park there.
I hope I never get Employee of the Month
Yeah, me
because
too.
I like my space just the way it is. If
Me
I have to
too.
move to another area and be punished,
I've been parking there for 2 years.
Yes, you
you're
have.
grandfathered in.
Put cones out there in the next couple of days, right out front of your spot.
Why? Why are they doing this?
To honor the employee of the month. In lieu
Who's
of
the
something
damn
actually
employee of the
important.
month?
I don't know.
They have like 4 or 5 of them in
Well,
who
various
are they?
departments. I
Well,
already
there's an email
deleted.
put out. I know who they are.
They aren't us.
Oh, it'll never be us. Ever. Ever.
You want to know who they are?
I don't know them. I bet you I don't know one of them.
Read them.
Read them.
Okay. First of all, there are different.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Slower.
The criteria.
Slow down. Slow down.
Slower.
Make it last longer.
Okay. Well, in engineering.
How many times have you heard that, Shell?
Dave Stewart.
In accounting, that's Fran Stover.
We know
Okay, I know Fran.
In sales, it's Heidi Simon Sankey.
We know Heidi.
I know Heidi.
Yeah.
In promotions, it's Sergio Hernandez.
Yeah, well, guess what, Sergio? I'm parked in your spot. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, that's my parking spot.
I know.
Not anymore.
In traffic, it's Rebecca Rapps.
I know
You know
Rebecca.
Rebecca, yeah.
In programming, it's Mark Evans.
Well, I know all these people, and none of them are good enough to be employee of the month.
Mark Evans.
Oh, Dave, you'll like this.
Mark Evans is on program.
production. It's Clint.
Clint!
You got to be kidding.
Oh,
Why? Because his wife had a baby, so he gets to be employee
Yeah,
of the
throwing him a
month?
bone.
Big deal. It's nature.
participated in a commercial production. That's why it says that's why he's eligible. And in the NTR/web department, it's Jason Torbert.
We know all of these people, it turns out.
Yeah, they're all employees of the month.
They're also the only ones in those departments.
Why are we doing
tough
this?
competition.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
When do you think you and I will get an employee of the month?
Ever, never, never. You know,
And what do you get if you win? You get your parking space back.
so they're going to tow my car.
30 this morning. If you are still parked there,
At what
it's not
time?
employee of the month.
Now this is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
By 10:30.
How does that
Now
help
you
Clint?
tell me that the employee of the month shouldn't be at work
Yeah, right.
way before 10:30 in the morning?
Doesn't Clint roll in at like 5 a.m. when
Yeah.
there isn't really a parking space issue?
How's that going to work for him?
Genius.
He's got to park in a way away from where he normally parks.
Right.
That's just, he gets punished.
Because they all park down by the back door up down there, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it's closer to their studio.
Yeah.
And this was delivered in an email
Today, I got it today. It was sent out yesterday.
Yeah, I got one.
yesterday. And so they're towing cars
Yeah.
here. Our own company is going to tow their own employees' cars,
And it starts out
and you
so
better have read your junk email.
Less than 24 hours notice.
It started out so friendly. Our first employee of the month winners would like their parking spot.
Who is this from? Who wrote this?
Melissa Eisenhammer.
Who?
Melissa Eisenhammer.
Okay, that's the one person I don't know. Hey, Melissa, you just made the list.
She's upstairs. She's Jack's assistant.
Oh, that Melissa. I
Yes.
know her.
Of course you did.
Did she get married or something? That last name sounds different.
She did.
She must have gotten married. Or...
P.S. If you are parked in the employee of the month parking lot, you will be towed seriously.
Well, sure, I'm glad they didn't, take Glickenhaus's spot and turn that into the employee of the month spot. Just take mine.
Sorry, dude. I just want to drop that bomb on
Oh, you are not so sorry at all. You are loving this. You're loving this.
Because you're a bastard person.
I'm parked right next to you on the other side of that little median there.
I know it.
That's okay.
I know.
Sorry, dude. I'll move your car if you want me to.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Crud. Sorry, it's total.
Did you park on the other side of the stairs?
I park where I park
Every
every
day.
freaking day.
Yeah.
You get
For
towed.
2.5 years.
I'd hate to
That's
see you
number
get
one
towed.
for the employee of the month. That's the number one spot.
Yeah, you tow my car. I double damn dog dare. My own company tow my car?
Well,
I don't
what if they
think
do?
so.
You don't want them scratching it up.
They're not going to tow my car.
It'd be a good bit if they tried.
David, evidently you don't understand the importance of the employee of the month. I don't know why I'm doing the Boyer puppet. I'm sorry.
Because I'm with you guys. I,
I
don't
know,
give
I
a
know.
rat's ass.
We don't care about
I
parking.
guess
Why
don't
do we
understand.
I'm
care?
trying to figure out why. I mean, is it because there are limited spaces by the time these slackers come to work?
At
must
10:30,
be.
by the time we've already done a full day's work for these people.
And it's all full, and they have a difficult time finding a space, so this is their reward.
And I could even get my mind wrapped around that, but you're telling me that Clint August is the employee of the month? No way.
Yeah.
None.
That guy's a douchebag. Clint, the tool
Come
from
on.
91X?
Yeah.
I have to move my car for Clint.
Yes, you do.
Really? I don't recall seeing their names on the front page of the 2554. Number one!
Yeah, baby. Go, go, go.
I don't recall seeing that.
Not only that,
Damn!
Clint's already home by 10:30. He gets here at 5 a.m. How does that help him? As Chainsaw says, he's
doesn't.
parking further away from where he normally parks. To get here, the parking lot's
2554
empty.
adults, number one.
They're on the second page, Dave.
Yeah, but Dave, you don't have the criteria that they're looking for upstairs. Apparently,
I know, successful. They're not interested.
Yeah,
you don't go above and beyond the call. You don't have leadership. You're not a team player. You're not great attitude or strong overall.
No, I'm none of that stuff.
That's the criteria they're basing it on.
You're not digging for a raise that you're not going to get.
Yeah, Clint's a real leader.
Hey, he goes above and beyond the call.
How?
When? Where? What?
I don't know.
Might as well be Monday.
No, stop it. It's
I didn't-
Friday. It's good.
I didn't ruin your Friday, did I?
Thanks a lot, Bromo.
You know you did, and you were excited to do it.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
laughing.
You're laughing. You're laughing. You know you are.
I'm just tipping you off. I thought it was ironic.
You're loving it.
You don't even know what ironic means.
But it was
Right,
sweet
that
of
was
you to
kind of-
defend me.
Guy that makes more money for this company than anybody else, and they want to tow you at 10:30.
Well, you know what? How about I'll just wrap things up at 9? How's that sound?
Yeah.
You know,
that way
I
you
didn't
can be
want
out
my
to your
car to get towed.
Right.
8:30. That's when they arrive. Let's sign off at 8:29. You can drive away.
Yeah.
There's your spot. Have it, and then spit on the parking lot.
This is a great company policy. Whoever cracked this little scheme.
And you just know it was the result of an hour-long meeting. I know. Here's what we can do. Let's make people Employee of the Month.
What hamster came up with this one?
I think they said that is where it came
What?
from.
It came out of the town hall meeting.
It was
Yeah.
a suggestion box, an anonymous tip.
Oh, what hamster came up with that?
So it was an employee.
Clint.
Right.
No, it was a disgruntled. It was a disgruntled employee who was sick and tired of parking in the second tier up above.
What is their number down there? Are they 391? What? No one can hear you.
On the extension 3109.
3109.
Tank.
Why do you do that?
What is that?
Oh, Tinkin.
That's a studio number, isn't it? Yeah, don't answer the phone. What's that, Chainsaw? Yeah, busy playing your White Stripes this morning. Answer the damn phone. I don't want to talk to you anyway. Hang on. What's this, the hotline? All right.
Hello?
Hey. It's,
Hello.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's Dave down the hall.
Hey, Dave, what's up,
Hey,
man?
we're on the air, dude.
Can you hold on a sec, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right,
Brah.
thanks.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm from like Maui, brah.
take a long time.
Maybe 1 or 2 feet. It's looking really small and kind of weak out front.
Dude,
This is a great.
it's like the snowboarding report, dude.
Are they going snowboarding?
Yeah.
I can't talk to you right now. We're doing the snow report.
Isn't everyone who listens to 91X now like 35 anyway? I mean, they don't snowboard anymore.
Well, coming into South.
It takes too long to heal.
Dave,
Yeah, man. Hey, is Clint in there?
this is Clint, actually.
Hey, there's no way you are getting my parking spot. I don't care whose ass you've been kissing all week. I'm not giving you my parking spot, you tool.
You know, Dave, now that I've gone big time, I don't think I can speak with you any longer.
Tow it. I damn dare you. Tow it. I dare you. This is bull. crap.
That's terrible.
Hey, now, I have a suggestion.
What?
I'll take some money for it.
Dude,
Yeah?
just bring it. Bring the fight right now. Just bring it. What is this crap about you being a leader and all the other BS I was reading?
In production, right?
Well, you know, I've done some commercials.
Big deal.
So have all of us.
Was this your idea to have an employee of the month? Are you the one who put this in the suggestion
Who's
box?
the hamster who came up with
We
this
want to
one?
know.
I am. Now, Chris just popped on it.
I want that person fired.
Is this the party line?
You know, I want the person who came up with that idea fired.
Okay, Chris, what they're addressing the fact that I'm employee of the month. And Dave's pretty upset because he thinks I'm going to get his parking spot.
That's my spot.
I'm kind of confused as to why Clint's the employee of the month as well. I'm rather perplexed. As far as the spot situation, does it really matter there are open spots around here every morning?
Yeah, I know that, and I don't really give a damn. But, you know, Clint August, employee of the month? When? On what planet?
Well, what were you thinking? Freaking Bromo?
No! I'm thinking nobody. Nobody
What
here
is
is
that freak you work with?
Nobody here is worth a damn. Nobody deserves to park close.
I think Boyer should get it for his insane drum fills during the show. He's such a tight drummer. How did you get that guy?
You want him? I'll make a fair offer.
That's the trade.
I'll trade you Boyer for Clint right now. Seriously.
And one Ruggie to be named later.
What's up, Neil Peart? Is that Neil Peart in there?
Yeah. Just finished with Rush.
Like John Bonham.
Don't worry about your spot, Dave. You're all good.
It's all good.
Wait a minute, who says? I'm employee of the month.
And well, what about next month when some other schmo gets that spot? If the very best, Dave is 27 days away or 25 days. No, it's 22.
Why don't you just give it to Tony and Chris? Because we haven't, spent enough.
Yeah, give it to the Hicks.
Why don't you just give it to Tony and Chris? Because we haven't, spent enough of our profits and our blood and sweat.
They're not getting enough billboards or commercials on television.
I'm over the Hicks.
You know, come on. Let's give it to the Dippers. Let's go.
Don't they ride horses here?
Hey, here's George Strait. How about that? They drive a Volvo. You know, if their audience knew.
I know.
If their audience knew, you know, they're over there, George Strait, God bless America. Yeah, and then they go out and they drive their Swedish Volvo.
Wearing shorts and tennies.
You know,
Yes, Tony's in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts and
Shorts and
tennis shoes.
tennies.
They should be wearing Wranglers
Yes.
and you know, have one of those cold cut sized deli trays for a belt buckle, but they're driving Volvos
Yeah.
and going home and drinking Chardonnay.
They're a bunch of metrosexuals.
Metrosexuals is what they are.
Dude, we should all do a show together. We get great ratings if we work with these clowns, Clint. My God.
We need some
Klingons.
You're not getting my spot, August. Eat it.
What do we have to do to work this out? Well, I mean, money, what?
I don't even think Dave has a car. I thought he drove a golf cart to work. Hey, I gotta go, guys.
My personal value. I hang up first. I gotta go.
Gotta go.
Oh, yeah. Hurry up to that Blink 182 segue.
Y'all wound up here this morning.
That is annoying as hell.
Well, it is. You're absolutely right. And I think the solution is just be gone by 10:30.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No problem.
I think we'll just start wrapping things up real early now.
Start living like me. Be out of here by 10:05. Problem solved.
I'm with you, Shell.
Okay.
How am I doing here, Emily? I'm way behind. Okay, great. I'll be here until 11. I haven't played my 6:20 spots. It's 6:45.
Nice one. Well, you have all
Dwyer's
yourself to
fault.
blame now.
Yeah.
Emily.
Way to go. Keep me on time.
We're fine.
I got to get out of my
sports yet.
parking spot.
Okay, we'll go to spots.
Hang on, I got to. Yes, Phil.
Hey, how you doing, Dave?
I'm not doing very well at all, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I hear you're quite the diva.
Is this news to you?
My
Get a
God,
si-
you don't look. Just get a sign company in there, have him move the sign over to Bromo's spot. He's laughing all about it.
I can't decide if I'm... Holy cow.
What?
Man.
What happened?
Did you see Ruggie's hair?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ridiculous.
Particularly
what
ruggy
happened to
today.
it?
Stuck his thingy in a light socket.
Oh.
How does he get his hair to do that?
Oh, it always looks like that.
And what was he doing in our studio? I demand to know what Ruggie was doing in our studio.
him
What do you
out.
want?
He was telling us that they made a tribute to Clint getting Employee of the Month, and he was showing me where it was.
Oh, that's neat. Great. We want to play it. Move along. Down the hall. Down the hall. There's a reason your studio isn't by the entry, okay?
Is he high maintenance today, Ruthie? Is this high maintenance?
Oh, no.
Drama queen or a diva?
Drama queen, diva, high maintenance? No.
Take your pick.
They didn't take your parking spot, did they, 66?
No.
Dave,
What?
hey, dude.
Come on. God
You having your
damn.
period, Dave, or what?
Huh?
You having your period or what?
No, Ruth. I'm not having my period. They're taking my parking spot away.
Only after 10:30. The solution is to leave by 10:29.
No, that's 10:30 today. And I'm sure that
You're sure?
that those spaces will be marked reserved, and that from this point out.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to park sideways in them on Monday, so I take up like 3 of them. That's what I'm going to do.
You're just a rebel, Dave.
I'm not kidding.
You're going to borrow my trailer? You can take up 6.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let's park the bread van in there. Stick it up on the curb, all jagged sideways. Oh, really? Was that your spot? Huh, too bad. Why don't you tow it?
Just push it out of the way.
Why don't you just
This
tow it?
type of violent protest goes against your very nature. I'm very surprised to hear this from you.
It goes against my nature.
Well, yes, you were all incensed when the people were protesting the war and stuff. I mean, this is a out and out protest that you're lodging.
It really
here.
is.
You're waging war. You really are.
Well, yeah, but the war protest is a bunch of do-gooder naysayers who don't have any real impact and are not affected by it.
What?
They don't have to go to war.
Carly?
Yeah?
What's up, hon?
I think you're a bit over dramatic.
An 11-year-old can tell, Dave.
What's the most dramatic thing about this?
That it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
Dad, you get there so early. I mean, the whole parking lot's probably, like, empty.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen where you park.
He could literally move, I don't know, about 12
closer to the
feet.
building.
Carly?
You're a brave girl.
You know what you and I are going to do this weekend?
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
You know what we're going to do this weekend?
Might be polishing a car.
No, we're going to take a couple hours, and we're going to watch a cinematic experience called The Godfather.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to pay close attention to where the father takes his child aside and says, never go against the family. It's the exact line, Chainsaw. Never let the opposition
Don't ever
know.
let your feelings shown outside the family again.
Yeah, outside the family.
Yeah, well, that's a movie.
Talking about
not a
Sonny.
movie.
It's after the
It's a movie.
Salazzo meeting.
It's a real-life documentary.
It's not a real-life
It's after the
documentary.
Salazzo meeting.
Yep.
It's at
Proud of you, Carly,
Genco
for
olive
expressing
oil.
your views.
Genco olive oil right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's when he tells Salazzo that he's not going to bankroll his dream of being a heroin dealer.
That's cool.
So basically, Carly, you're telling me, Dad, let's get into the heroin business. And you know what, Carly? I'm not into it.
No,
Okay?
Exactly.
You know, I thought these DARE
that is
classes
such a
meant something
leap.
to you.
It's unbelievable.
And then show her what
I don't
happens to
even hear what
Sonny.
you guys are saying.
I don't think I'm on 10.
Actually, Dad, actually,
Yeah, she's just not interested in hearing what you have to say.
That's right.
Yeah. What, honey?
by parking in a different spot, that's not opening a heroin. You know what? No, okay? Dad, it's not that hard to just park in a different spot.
My own child.
Yeah, well, welcome to my world, Carly.
My
You're
flesh
trying to speak
and
logical
blood.
to logical.
Also show her the part what happens to Sonny at the toll booth.
Oh,
That's right.
nice.
That's right. You want your dad shot up by a machine gun in a toll booth. All right, fine.
You know what?
We don't have
Okay.
any toll booths.
Do you have Child Protective Services on speed dial? I think you're going to need that number.
Dad.
Yes, you're speaking to your father, the man who was responsible for redecorating your bedroom. Go ahead. Yes, honey. The one who's going to redecorate your bedroom for you?
Uh-huh.
Go
I've
ahead.
seen where you park.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier to park closer to the building?
And you know what?
'Cause that's not as close as you can get.
That is true, Carly, and an excellent point.
Let me talk to Allie, my favorite child.
You mean my least favorite child. Hang on.
My favorite daughter.
Well, let's not forget the reason you parked there in the first place. It's because somebody jacked the sprinkler timers to come on at 6 o'clock and spot up the car.
Dad,
Yeah.
I went in there. I was like, Allie, Dad wants to talk to you. We're on the radio. And she's like, no.
All right, so all my children love me.
And agree with you.
Lucky
This is
man.
a great day.
It's Friday.
Hey, Carly,
Yeah?
I gotta go.
Bye.
Good luck, Carly.
I know a certain 11-year-old is not going to have a very pleasant weekend. Oh, yeah, a lot of weeds out there in the backyard. Might be a little extra production in the cat box.
Do not scramble into the cat box for the present.
Could
That's
happen.
just hurtful and wrong.
Well, that Barney's been eating like crazy. Look at that. Wow. All right. Let's get a traffic update here on KGB. Here is Route 66.
Thank you, Dave. Slow traffic in the North County westbound 78 from Jefferson.
And who's this brought to us by? Is it brought to us by the new country radio station?
No.
Don't listen to us. Don't listen to KGB. Listen to any other radio station in the building, but not us.
No.
Okay, calm down. Shut up, you idiot.
Southbound.
Lighten up, Francis.
No kidding.
Southbound 15 bunched up at Escondido and then again at Carmel Mountain. South 5 heavy La Costa, then Encinitas. And there's a crash south 5 as you approach the 805. A van blocking the slow lane. Also a crash in Escondido south on 15 right at Via Rancho Parkway, making that slower than usual. North 805 slows from the South Bay from the 54 off and on up through North Park, then Balboa to the 52. At First Future Credit Union, there's a new way to completely retire your mortgage in a few short years with no fee. 5, 7, or 10-year term buster mortgage loans starting at a low 4.35% APR. First Future, an equal housing lender. I'm Ruth, 66 with DSC 1015 KGB.
Shelley is really pissed about something. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Something bad is going on.
What happened, Shell?
I don't know. I thought I was.
Ooh, she's got fire in her eyes.
Oh, you know what? I was out there. She was stomping her Prada shoes onto that.
Ouch.
You okay?
No, I'm upset because my mom and dad are trying to get a cab to go to the airport today. We called yesterday and made explicit arrangements of how to pick them up and where to go and where to be waiting for them. And the guy totally flaked on him.
Yeah.
He's up, but he claims he's caught in traffic. And he was supposed to be there at 6:15. So you're going to get people fired. I'm going to get people fired today.
I'm not getting anybody fired.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you dropping something that sounded like, "Do you know what I do for a living?" or something
No,
like that.
you walked by and you were saying evidence and evidence.
Oh, yeah,
and evidence
absolutely.
and evidence. And he
Absolutely.
heard it, and I said, "This is where I work. Can you imagine what I'm going to be like to deal with once I get off the air?" And then I said, "Click."
And I think what she's most, especially since this might mean my parents stay another day.
Well, see, this is the thing. It wasn't, the cab getting to the house. Take your time. No hurry.
No, that's not true.
Leaving the house. Get over here now.
Exactly.
No, I picked them up when they got here.
Yeah.
Sure.
They've been gone for a week. These are non-refundable tickets.
Yeah.
It's important, and I would think that when you get an airport call, you would know that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Especially when it's for 6:15 in the frickin' morning.
This is not a happy Friday.
No, it's not.
It started off so great.
Want to start drinking?
Yes.
Do you?
No, I'm going to a thing tonight, and
What
I want
thing?
to be all happy.
Oh, that thing?
Uh-huh.
What? You'll be sobered up by then. It's 7 in the morning.
I
Come on.
won't.
Let's have liquid breakfast. Let's go. Let's just party.
Oh.
Let's rock and roll all night and party every day.
Yes.
Now, I insist.
I just want mom and dad to make their flight because everyone's waiting for them at home to pick them up. It's just...
I know why you want your mom and dad to make their flight, believe me.
No, I mean, it's been a great trip. It really has.
Yeah, because they've spent most of it away.
Well, that's what I meant. They had a good time,
Oh.
and they were up in Vegas. They were in Palm Springs seeing Aunt Jeffy, then in Vegas seeing my dad's half-sister, and then in Laguna, I drove up to meet them there. We had a great time. A lovely dinner last night at Indigo Grill, and it was just fabulous.
How was it? They have the steak? The filet?
No, chicken, salmon, and I had the lamb, which is
You know this place, Chainsaw?
awesome.
Yes, the filet is very, very good.
What's so
that's
great
one of the
about
things
it?
I haven't tried.
They put some potatoes and they make sauce on it is just unbelievable.
She's
I don't know, I
spicy.
just-
Everything's a little bit spicy there.
Yeah.
It's really good. Really good. So I hate to see this trip end on such a sour note and have them be hassled
What, my
at the
parking
airport.
spot?
Yes, that's it, Dave.
I
I'm
hate to
very
see
concerned
their
about
trip
that.
end with my parking spot controversy.
It's all about cars. Today.
You know, we wouldn't have turned their rental car in yesterday. They could have easily driven, but
Yeah.
I said, no. This is a great cab driver. Don't worry. So my reputation is on the line now with this a-hole who couldn't bother to. I mean, tell me if you can't pick him up.
That'll hurry him up.
Hey, Shell, lighten up
Yeah,
about your complaining.
you're right, Dave.
Seriously.
Grow up, you diva.
You know,
Drama queen.
People in
That's
the world
me.
have problems. This is not a
Right.
problem.
I know.
It's just a car. Who cares?
Well, it's the convenience of my parents, and I thought the yellow cab company was in the business of
Oh.
helping people be convenient.
We dropped the name.
Oh, did that slip out?
We dropped the name.
Oh, they're not too famous.
Okay.
Well, it's just Anthony with Yellow Cab Company that I'm really upset with.
You are scorching earth here, girl.
A little bit.
I hope you know what you're doing, because
Well-
I don't have the swear catcher on. I can't take any of this stuff back.
Fine.
I'm reaching for the button going, it's...
I haven't said it.
There you go.
True.
Just take that much out right there.
So,
How you doing? Telling you. Let's start drinking.
do you have a flask?
I got money. What do you want? Name it. Let's
Shot of
get
something.
up now.
Well, if we're going to do that, can we go to my house first and make sure my parents make their flight?
No, because if you're drunk, you won't care if they make their flight. See? You're working too hard on it. You're going to middlemen and
I know,
stuff
I
like
guess
that.
you're right. I'm
Let's
just
go immediately to the
Silly
end
me
solution
trying to
here.
keep everyone happy. What the hell am I thinking?
Well, typical woman. Trying to
Yes,
make
that's
sure
right.
everyone else is taken care of, not watching out for yourself. See, that's what I'm here for. Look out for you.
Thanks.
I'm looking out for you,
As
Shell.
these past 14 years have proven.
I
Yes,
got your
you are.
back.
You got my back.
I'm working
dog.
on your front.
That's right. No, you're not.
That's Officer Yummy's territory.
It.
Officer Yummy, my parents are gone. Would you like to come over?
Could we convince Officer Yummy to come over here and just frisk Shelly?
Oh, stop
Yeah,
it.
that'd make
I don't
her
even
so
think
happy.
that would make it better now.
A rugged frisk.
I don't think that would make it better.
Huh?
It's just this is just too upsetting to me. I can't. I'm so upset when people do not live up to their word.
Dale,
Yes.
what's up, buddy?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, bud?
I'm hanging in there, just driving to work, and I'm figuring out, just trying to figure out why Shelley didn't call us.
I'll tell you why. Because we feel like we abuse you guys. This is
No, you
Dale
don't.
from La Costa Limo, which is the finest limousine
these guys
company
are great.
in the world. And you didn't call La Costa Limo to take your mom and dad to the airport. And you know what? That hurts, Mr. Thoreau.
I'm so sorry.
I'm a little hurt.
He's hurt.
I don't know if I can continue with my day today.
Yeah, well, they took my parking spot, so cry me a river.
Oh my
Grow
goodness!
up, Dale.
Could I convince you to bring one of your, 18-seater limos over here and park it sideways and the
No
employee...
problem. We'll be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, do you
But,
want
know,
him?
I figured Shelley would have called because she does have her favorite driver here. We won't mention any names, but Shelley
Dick is
knows
my
who he
favorite
is.
driver. I know.
She likes Dick.
Yeah.
Dick
Love
to
Dick.
drive her home.
I do like
Dick in the
driver. Look, the problem is their flight is at 8:30. They should have been there. You
Well,
know.
we're 24 hours a day, so I feel for you, but I wish you would have called.
I do too, because now the problem is Mom's turned off her cell phone and we can't get in touch with her.
Well, Mom's probably upset.
Can't you call home? Can't you call home?
I did. No one's answering.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
So now
Maybe
I'm in
they're-
that limbo
maybe they're
area of not
They're
knowing.
walking to the airport.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, yeah, but my dad's got a bad leg. He can't walk. You know, this is why I had everything arranged and thought that I could really count on this guy because it's a little bit difficult for my dad to walk long distances. So
I know it. It's very upsetting.
I just want to make sure there's nothing we did to upset
No,
you.
oh Dale, no, you guys are the greatest. You have never let me down. You've always been there for me, and
What you said a minute ago.
it's my bad that I didn't think to call the professionals.
How is everybody at La Costa Limousine?
We're doing fine. Everyone's great.
Well,
Everyone's
that
great.
Rick Brown guy, cheater at golf, how's he doing?
He's a slacker.
He is a slacker. That is, in fact, true. What's the number for people who are looking for a limousine over there at La Costa?
I would say toll free 888-299-8255.
limo.
Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
You too, buddy. Have a
Thanks,
good weekend.
Dale.
See you.
Bye.
I'm clocking up 50 minutes behind schedule.
Oops.
You happy, Emily?
Happy Clint?
You know, just because we're dating now doesn't mean that you get to get away with this kind of stuff.
Wow, a little spat happening.
Yeah, it's our first fight. Let's get a sports update here on KGB. Here is the Chainsaw. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you, David. Hello again, everybody.
Okay.
And other sports, David. All right. Here's a story that's on all the newspapers. It's the big, and I'm wondering if it's really that important or just there's nothing else going on. But it's all about that Maurice Clarett guy of Ohio State. Wanted to try the NFL early. A U.S. District Court judge has ruled that former Ohio State running back Maurice Clarett is eligible for the NFL draft here just 2 years after high school. See, the NFL was ruled in violation of antitrust laws yesterday for its policy that prohibits players from being drafted until 3 years after their high school class has graduated. Basically, the kid was flunking out of school. He broke some rules, got kicked off the team. He's really good, so why sit on his butt until he's eligible? He's 21 years old. What's the NFL's problem? Well, the NFL likes this sweetheart minor league system they've been getting for free all these decades called college football. Mature, tested players pretty much ready to go come draft time. Pretty sweet system. Free. Basketball and baseball and hockey, they operate differently. They let 18-year-olds in and have their own farm systems. Well, the NFL argues the kids' bodies aren't ready for the NFL. They're not mature. They're not good enough. Well, tell that to the 18-year-old in Iraq. If you're old enough to vote and fight and die for your country, you should be able to try out for a job in the NFL, and an NFL team that thinks you're good enough should be able to hire you just like any other company or American employer. As for the argument in the LA Times that change isn't always for the better, these kids who come out early don't understand the game and junk up the product. The NBA, the prime example. Then don't draft them, don't pay them, don't play them. As always, there's still no law against being stupid. Blind and greedy teams have these feeding frenzies over some underqualified teenager who gets headlines and then everyone wants him. You know how that works. And they're not worth a fuss, and then give them $20 million signing bonuses. And you know what? The NFL, has the NFL been immune to this system with college players?
No.
Ryan Leaf, hello. He was old enough, and they wasted their money on him. So the NFL is appealing this decision, but how can they possibly win? How can they keep an 18-year-old from competing for a job? Commissioner Paul Tagliabue articulated the NFL's position yesterday.
Those doggone flying saucers, boy, now listen, they're weird doggone machines, boy. There's no doggone fooling about it. There could be all types of doggone objects in them.
Yeah, makes about as much sense as their actual policy. Meanwhile, in the National Bath,
I like college football. These kids are eating steroids like they're M&Ms, you know. And the coaches act like they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
This was little Billy Smith. He weighed 185 as a freshman. This year he's 6'15", bench pressing 1,000 pounds. Nobody mentions the fact the kid grew a tail over the summer. His urine has a street value of $650,000. I guess he's just eating his vegetables. Last year he was 5'10". This year he's tall enough to hunt geese with a rake.
Sketball Association. Shaquille O'Neal gets paid $275,000 per game.
Give me that price tag once more.
$275.
We're all making $275 large, aren't we? Per day?
Per day. But he phones it in, I'm going to say, most of the time during the regular season, because last night, getting crushed by Philadelphia, 96-73, Shaq was 3 for 15 from the free throw line. Half the time, it looks like he doesn't even care.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did care, he'd practice enough to be better.
Does he win the ring?
He has 3 times. My question is, why would people pay top dollar to watch a guy slack during the regular season? Why would people bother to watch on television a bunch of slackers sleepwalk through the regular season? Ugh, ugh, ugh.
It's the built-in problem with the NBA.
Yes, it is.
It's too easy to get to the playoffs and then rock up and win. It's too easy.
What about your personal integrity of going out there and playing like the old days when players cared, like Michael and Magic and Larry? They never shortchanged anybody. They played hard every night. Allen Iverson, you know, as much as you say about him, he puts his balls on the line every night. He plays as hard as any guy I've ever seen.
I don't say anything bad about Iverson. I think he's a gamer.
AI. And that's what just makes me sick about Shaq. I don't care how good you are. You earn your money and you play hard.
Karl Malone plays really hard like that every single
Yes,
game.
he does. But Shaq, slacker. Kobe plays hard.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq,
when he
slacker.
shows up.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's what I said. It's Shaquille O'Neal. And you know what? I've got my underwear in a bunch today, too, David.
So we
I'm
all
joining
are.
the-
Oh, no. I'm telling you, we got to start drinking.
Yeah. I'm going to have a coffee right now.
Emily, get a bottle.
I need some Kahlua. All right, 7:10. In other sports, David.
Listener Lex writes, Dear Dave, I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a KGB hamster who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom you provide, then questions the manner in which he parks. I prefer they said thank you and went on their way. Otherwise, I suggest they pick up a hot microphone and stand the post. Either way, I don't give a damn what they think which parking spot they are entitled to.
7:10, 35 seconds. This is your 101.5 KGB Sports Network. Oh, my.
Okay, do you know what I'm going to do now?
Drink.
I'm going to break for spots.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming right back to you for your 720.
Excellent.
I just blew my wad.
Dude. You know whose fault it is? Hers.
Yes, it is.
Emily's.
Oh. And the cab drivers.
And the cab driver.
And Clint's.
And Clint. Yep.
We hate them.
Let's blow them all up.
Round them up.
Take them to a place and have them
summarily shot.
Produce the weapon.
I can't shoot Emily today. She was helping me.
Yeah?
She was helping me with the whole cab.
Not helping me. Bricks in the head. That's all I get.
Chance we were yakking too much. We got to visiting. Complaining. Not too much.
I don't complain. I'm a positive person.
Yeah. Regular Dale Carnegie. Up with people.
Right. It's like you're wearing red, white, and blue right now.
Yepper. All right, Chainsaw is brought to you by the all-new Rancho Chrysler Jeep Dodge Superstore in Kearney Mesa. It's on Balboa, right off the 163, and it's online at ranchoautogroup.com. Here's Route 66.
Thank you. Slowing continues around a wreck southbound 5 at Via Rancho Parkway, where traffic's backed up and slower than usual as a result, back to the 78. Southbound 5 slows from Santa Fe down to Manchester. We have slowing north 805 from the South Bay from the 54 off and on to the 94, then Balboa to the 52. Westbound 94 slows from 25th Street into downtown. Watch the NBA in HD this Saturday night when the New Orleans Hornets battle the Milwaukee Bucks. Order Cox high-definition cable today. Call 619-262-1122 or 760-599-6060. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw, 101.5 KGB.
Walked my seeing eye dog up to 7-Eleven last night, and the guy, forgot he took my dog there, and he just left him out front with some stranger and came home.
He lost your seeing eye dog.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we ran back there, and I guess the guy waited for 10 minutes and then just took off with my dog.
Okay. How does someone get a hold of you if by chance they're listening and they happen to have your animal? How does someone get a hold of you, Adam?
My phone number is 619
Yeah.
462
462
4954.
4954. And what's your animal's name?
His name's Rudy.
Labrador?
No, St. Bernard Australian Shepherd mix.
Okay.
He's about 60 pounds. He's black, white, and brown. Really furry. He knows his name. He listens to his name. He's got a state disability assist tag on. He's got a county tag, and he's got a blue tag with my personal information on it.
Does it have the phone number on there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's do it one more time. Phone number again, Adam.
619-462-4954.
Okay.
And this was at 7-Eleven on 65th and El Cajon Boulevard.
Okay, buddy. Good luck.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
What's going on? There's something weird going on today.
Funky day.
Funky
Full moon
stuff.
tonight?
Yeah, full moon. It's already hit full last night.
Yeah, we passed that. Got my kid calling me up, telling me I'm a drama queen.
Well, at least she was talking to you. The other one wouldn't.
Don't need that. I'd rather they didn't talk to me than call me a drama queen. Seriously, I'd rather have the cold shoulder. I'm going to give something good to you women.
Excellent.
I have a website where you can see Tad Hamilton naked.
Oh,
He is so good looking.
oh this might make it all better.
Just so good looking, David.
What's the guy's name?
Josh Dumel?
What's his name, Emily?
It's Duhamel. And he is the star of Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. And he was in a soap opera for a couple of years.
All My Children.
And he's very, very darling.
Darling.
Didn't you see that movie, Tad Hamilton?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought you took the girls.
No, they want to go.
I heard it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they want to go, definitely. I got to go see that. I have to take him to see Polly, and I have to take him to see... I got a lot to do.
Yeah, you really do.
I got a lot.
If your car isn't towed, if you can make it home.
Can't get there, honey. My car got towed. Now who's pissed off? Really? Oh, you want dinner? Sorry, couldn't get to the store today. Go eat dirt. All right, live it up.
Oh.
Huh? Huh?
Come on. I've lost the will to fight. I can't even do that anymore.
All I heard during the spot break was, I won't be happy until someone's fired.
I said I can't start drinking until someone's fired. And then I will be drinking.
You want the website to see Tad Hamilton naked?
I do. That'll make it all better.
No, I'm going to give this to you now. Don't email me and ask me, what's that email? Blah, blah. I'm giving it to you now, and that's it, all right?
Just say it really slow.
I'm going to. I'll say it like 3 times, but just don't email me and ask me for it, because I'm just going to hit delete, okay?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
All right.
Yes.
You going to look this up, Chainsaw?
Yes.
Yes.
You're going to look up a naked man with
Yes, I am, person.
in a partially turgid state? And
Really?
I only know because I looked it up already.
You are such a person.
No question.
Yeah.
Okay. RetroStars.com
RetroStars.com
/shipper
shipper. Well, I like to say that. Shipper.
.htm.
.htm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can type that in now.
It's a shadowy kind of black and white.
Oh,
You got it?
no.
Oh. And Shelley, I know yours isn't going to work. Yours never works.
I have it.
How? Impossible. Shelley Dunn actually maneuvered her way to a website. That's a first.
When the planets are screwy, I can work a computer, okay?
That's the first since like 1993.
I was going to put money on it,
Yeah.
but she
No, you
wouldn't do
would've
it.
lost.
Yeah.
These are great. This is
These are
makes my day
awesome.
better.
Hey,
A lot
look at
better.
that. Yeah.
What a hunky.
Looks like Tad popped himself a little Cialis there. You all right with that?
That's fine with me.
Is that good for
How do
Mama?
I make that a screensaver?
I'll give you the website again here. It's RetroStars.com /shipper.htm. The guy who stars is Tad Hamilton, and I don't know what was his...
He was Leo in All My Children.
All My Children, okay.
Plus, he's on Vegas every Monday night. on
Yes,
NBC.
that's his show. With is James Caan in that?
Yep.
Yep. Still haven't watched that. I've heard it's good though.
And Cheryl Ladd is also on the show now and then.
Oh.
Well, his name is Josh Duhamel, and apparently one day he got a Woody and had his picture taken.
Sorry. He hung like a hamster. Look at that.
He's only halfway there.
It's hard to tell because of the angle, Jane.
Yeah.
You know, there's a depth thing there because it's like...
Oh, I see what
It's
you mean.
coming right at you.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
I just enlarged it.
Did you?
Yes.
Me too. How do I get it bigger?
I just
How many times has
maximized.
Shelley Dates heard
Oh, wait.
that? How do I get it bigger? Crowder doesn't get any bigger than that. Typical.
Look at those abs.
And he's looking right down at it going, get up, get up.
He had his picture taken back in 1998 when he was a struggling actor trying to pay the rent. This is all part of a book of male nudes called As I See It, which now sells for $550.
Worth every penny.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Making it even more erotic for women is the fact that Josh is 100% heterosexual. He recently announced his engagement to his girlfriend of 2 years.
Aw, you didn't have to read that.
Sorry. Now, women first became aware of this guy during his 3-year stint on All My Children. As Tad in the movie Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, he's becoming a household name thanks to his featured role as Danny McCoy in the TV series Las Vegas, which has already been renewed for the next season and is one of NBC's hottest new shows.
Good show.
He's a good-looking feller.
He's tall.
Yes.
He's so good looking.
He is.
Okay, last time. Here it comes. retrostars.com/shipper.htm.
Dave, what's that email? How come it doesn't work?
I don't know. If you're not seeing it, we have this message to you. We all saw it. All right, coming up in just a second here, the metrosexual quiz. Anybody here consider themselves a metrosexual?
I'm not sure, actually.
I don't know.
We'll
Is it
find
just a
out.
boy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Got the quiz coming up in Chainsaw Sports here. It's KGB. You ready to go, boy?
Yeah.
Bring it. Shelley, what's a metrosexual?
Well, I don't know. Is it a man who's not gay, but very concerned about his appearance and looks?
That's what I understand it to be.
I mean, more than I thought.
Anybody got anything to add to that? That's the way I understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the quiz here. And I consider Boyer to be the least concerned with his appearance here
I would think so, yes.
on the show. All right, so I've already taken the quiz, and we'll see how we match up with each other.
All right.
And I got a hunch that I'm going to be a little more metro than you.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
Yeah.
Can I point of order? I think he cares about his looks to the opposite. I mean, he is so concerned about looking his specific way, but maybe not in the guidelines of metrosexual. But he's very insistent he looks a particular way.
And hates
He has a uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deviate, and he hates it when he does.
That's right. Or is
So he
made to.
might be more particular, even though this quiz might show you or I to be more metrosexual. He is more particular about how he looks than we are.
He's a metrosexual.
That's perfect.
That is perfect.
All right, boy, here are the questions. Do you live in an urban area?
No.
Well, David,
I
yeah, you
don't.
do. You live in San Diego. How did you miss that first question?
Well, it's not downtown.
Okay, yes is the answer. Do you?
God.
How can you not know it? You don't live in a rural area.
Rural or urban?
Okay.
Do people keep
One
horses in their
questioning.
backyards in your neighborhood?
Yeah, there's a guy
No.
2 blocks over who has horses in his backyard by the Kmart.
You live in an urban area.
Okay.
You don't let him live in the sticks.
Wait a minute, David. Are you talking about physical address? Okay, I answer yes to that too. Do you pride yourself on going to the best boutiques and shops?
I don't even know what those are, so no.
Okay, I know what they are, but I answer no as well.
Really?
No.
Because there's certain designers you like a lot.
Yeah, but I don't go to boutiques.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
You know, to me,
I'll give you
boutiques
that, yeah.
are specialty one-shot stores. You know, I go to Macy's and Nordstrom and stuff like that.
All right, I understand.
I go to the chains.
Yeah.
Do you use a stylist or a barber?
Barber.
Okay, and I use a stylist.
Stop it.
Sweet.
How often do you work out at the gym?
Twice.
Your options are once a gym, every now and then, multiple times a week.
Multiple times a week.
And that's what I put. Sorry, Shane?
Heard that.
Who are you BSing? Him, me, or both?
Him.
Really?
Multiple
Twice a week.
Okay.
That was the last one.
Has anyone ever called you gay? Yes, jokingly, yes, seriously, or no?
Yes, jokingly.
And I answer the same. Has anyone ever called you materialistic? Yes or no?
No, I don't. No.
Okay, and I think I put yes for that. Have you ever plucked or waxed your eyebrows? Plucked, waxed, I've plucked and waxed, or no?
I've never done that to myself, no.
Okay, and I have.
It was done, though.
It says, have you ever plucked your eyebrows?
God.
It was a bit. I mean, I had...
Have you ever received a manicure? Yes or no?
Yes, I've received one.
And I have as well. Pedicure.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a homo.
It was here. It was a bit.
Well, what do we want to do for him? Do we want to let him answer how he would answer if he had not been kind of like pushed into doing the bit?
Yeah, take the bit out of it.
Yeah, his
Okay,
very
let's take the
nature
bit
is
out
he
of
would
it.
never do that.
Let's take the bit out of it. Do I need to back up? The eyebrow thing is no?
The eyebrow thing is no.
Yeah.
Manicure, yes or no?
I'm not outside the bit.
Pedicure, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Do you think your face is a canvas and a razor is a paintbrush?
No.
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you regularly read GQ or Esquire?
Negative.
Do you like Banana Republic clothing?
No.
When you order specialty coffee, does the clerk give a mean face because it's so complicated?
No.
Your options are yes, no, or I hope Starbucks goes bankrupt. No, that's just hurtful.
Love Starbucks. The answer is no.
I love Starbucks. When you go out, do you often check out what other guys are wearing?
No.
I'm answering almost completely opposite from you.
Really?
Yes.
You look at other men?
Yeah,
Me too. Good ideas?
I totally do.
Cool. Just like women look at other women. Clothes, dress, see how she pulls it all together.
Yeah, but it's gay when a guy does it.
Well.
Do you sometimes get jealous when another guy has a nice outfit on?
No. Yes.
What do you think of David Beckham?
I don't...
What are the
my
choices? What are the choices?
Your options are he's all right, he's a pussy, who's David Beckham?
Who's David Beckham? I mean, I know, but...
You know? Who is he?
He's a soccer guy who married one of the Spice Girls.
Okay.
That's all I know about him.
know a lot about him.
Then you can't say who's David
Okay.
Beckham. Is he all right or is he a pussy?
He's all right.
All right, that's what I answered. He's cool. Do you use more than 3 skincare products? Yes, no, or many more than 3.
Does that goof that you use in the garage count?
Soap and a towel. That's 2. No, I don't.
I answered yes to that.
You do have specialty products for cleaning grease out of your hands because you've given me some before.
Yes.
Can your shampoo be bought off a supermarket shelf? Yes or no?
Can.
Okay. Have you ever shaved your legs?
No.
Only to tape my ankles, so the answer is no.
I answered yes because I do it to tape my ankles.
Well, that's more athletic. It's not a vanity thing. Shaven.
I still put yes.
Well, what if you were a bicyclist who shaves for the aerodynamic quality? You're still shaving. I think for the purposes of this quiz, if I may throw a flag out, it's about appearance specifically, not performance for a specific sport.
Have you ever shaved your chest?
No.
Arms?
No.
Have you ever waxed your body hair or used Nair?
No.
Do you moisturize daily?
No.
Do you believe today's straight man is really the gay man of the 80s?
Straight man is really the gay man of the 80s. I guess not. I don't... No.
Do you watch Sex and the City?
No.
Have you ever worn any sort of makeup or cosmetic cover?
I did commercials when I was 8. Does that count?
Yes.
And do you have tapes?
I don't. That was pre-VCR.
What were you doing?
I did Rainbow Bread, Kennel Ration, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Why didn't I know any of this?
Massengill.
I did one for Celanese Fortrell, the people who make fabrics, that actually aired on the Johnny Carson show. It was a national thing.
Why didn't I know this?
I don't know.
You don't have these?
You're a child star? Yeah.
Well, no wonder he thinks he's as famous as David Cassidy.
Head on
So this whole Drew Barrymore with the mother is kind of your mother issue.
Oh, boy.
Mom pushed you into show business, and she was like a stage mom.
That was me.
Wow.
Oh.
Brooke Shields, hello.
And did she steal your money from you too?
No,
You're the Macaulay Culkin of
No
this
kidding. No wonder you're so troubled.
So, there was no videotape when I was doing these things. I think my grandfather took an 8mm movie camera and set it on a chair in front of the TV for the Tonight Show.
I think of him more as a Rodney Allen Rippey.
Yeah.
Cousin Arthur.
All right. Has a gay guy ever hit on you?
No.
Oh, come on.
And so did you like it? The answer, I guess, would be no. Do you love the movie American Psycho?
I've never seen it.
And that's what I answered. Do you hate manual labor?
No.
I love it, actually. I love digging
do?
a ditch. Yeah, I love digging.
Well, come over to the house. I got digging to do. Come on.
We'll make you happy, Chainsaw.
I got a tree
Got a
I
lot
gotta
of
take
work
out.
for you.
Yeah. Come on by.
Have you ever tried yoga or meditation?
No.
Are you in touch with your feminine side?
What is that?
I don't know. I answered yes because I think I am.
Well, I think if you're a sensitive person and
I like James Taylor music. I bought an Indigo Girl CD the other day.
Wow.
I know.
I think the whole idea of a feminine side for a guy is patently BS.
Yeah.
I don't buy into it. But for the people who do buy into it, who think that it exists, I think that I would say, well, I'll put what you want me to put.
I think you do because you enjoy the company of women. You like talking with them. You dig the scene, but you're still very much a man.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with that.
Boyer?
I think no.
Okay. Do you like to dance?
No.
Have you ever worn nail polish?
Not outside.
No.
I got drunk at a party and somebody painted my nail.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
Do you have a man bag?
Stop it.
Like a fanny pack?
Do you think you screwed him, David?
Like a bunny purse?
You have a man bag?
No.
No, I have a gym bag, that's it.
Do you own many pairs of boxer briefs?
No.
Can you leave the house without putting gel in your hair?
Oh, yeah.
No.
You wear gel?
From now on, yeah, I use product.
You do?
After Malin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you drink Evian water?
No.
All right. I'm going to grade you.
Okay.
Out of 50 possible metrosexual opportunities, you scored 6. Your score was 12%. This says you are a manly man. You are a stud. May I suggest some more contact sports like football? You can watch big, strong athletes sweat away as they tap each other's ass. Myself, I scored 27 out of 50. And I am told that I am a metrosexual and that the next girl that I hook up with is going to be more masculine than me.
Oh, no.
Is it time to buy new tweezers?
Well,
Honey.
it's very important.
They added the honey.
I added the honey for effect. Not surprising, Boyer. Guess who we're going to talk to next? Guess who's going to sit down right next to you? Guy who went to the World Series and hit a home run at Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. Tony Gwynn
Sweet.
is coming in studio with us next.
Excellent. Jay's better now. Better.
Don't worry, we're going to tow his car while he's here.
Yeah.
But
I'll call a cab so he can get back to where he needs to go.
beautiful.
Yeah.
T. Gwynn in studio next year. This is KGB.
KTGB. This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. Dave Shelley and Chainsaw. I suggest we use it.
1015 KGB.
Chopped over the mound. They'll have no play, even if Knobloch could have flagged it down, which he couldn't. So Gwynn is 2 for 5, which in a sense is a typical night.
And that's why
400.
That's why Tony Gwynn is such a good hitter, though. Beret was ahead of him, makes a good pitch, and watch me, just hits this with nothing but hands. There's a curveball breaking down. Look at it, he just reaches out, chops it back through the middle. Base hit.
Moises Alou. Swinging a drive into the gap in left center field. And up against the fence. This could do it. Being waved home is Gwynn. They got a play to Rodriguez. Safe. Safe. And the 6-game drought is over for the National League.
How cool was that? How cool was that, scoring the winning run? Stud. You stud. Here's Tony Gwynn with us on the KGB. 14 years we've been here in town. Tony's been a regular guest here on the show. And this is exciting stuff coming up for the Aztecs as they are going to play the very first game at Petco Park. Way to go, man.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. And, you listen to that tape.
I told you.
You get goosebumps.
I'm telling you. Is that like one of the greatest things? I mean, that is up there, in my opinion, with Do You Believe in Miracles and Dodgers Win the Pennant. I mean, it's great.
Well, for me it is.
It is for me, too. I love it.
Having never done anything in an All-Star game and then getting 2 hits in that game and scoring a winning run, that was a big night for me.
I got to ask you, are you aware in your head? Is that me?
It's not me.
Excuse me, Tony.
We've had issues today. Oh, man.
Shelly, talk to Tony Gwynn for a minute.
Tony. So it was the most exciting thing in the world, right up there with what else?
Well, it was with being on the mound with Ted Williams in 1999 in Boston. That was a lot of fun, too, hitting a home run in Yankee Stadium.
Apparently, I need cat food. That's what that was all about.
That's nice. It's the emergency line.
My 7-year-old calling me to tell me I need cat food.
Well, at least she's speaking to you again because she wasn't earlier this morning.
Yeah, not even talking to me before. My oldest told me I'm a drama queen, and get cat food, that's all you're good for.
Right. Got one job to do.
What I was going to ask you, Tony, is when you were rounding third, were you aware you were about to win the game?
Yeah.
That's in your head.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Alou hit that ball, I kind of played it out because we had just played the Expos, and he had done the same thing to us. And as a matter of fact, Will Clark is the first baseman, and I told him to pitch before. I said, he tries to sneak some piece of cheese inside on Alou. He's going to turn on it, and I'm going to score.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it happened. And, sliding into the plate, I knew I was safe, but I wasn't sure he was going to call me safe. So
looking up.
I slid in and put my arms up, almost begging for him to call me safe.
And then your arms went straight up as you leapt about a 36-inch vertical after he. And that was in the 1994 All-Star game in Pittsburgh.
Well, my old vertical skills came out after he called me safe, and
you could have dunked a basketball.
Well, I could have. I used to.
I know.
Do it all the time.
I know you consider standing on the pitcher's mound with Ted Williams one of the greatest thrills of your career. But in terms of actual playing, is that All-Star moment like right there at the top?
Yeah.
Is the home run in the series?
Home run in the series is right there at the top.
That's the one.
If you take out Ted in Boston, home run in Yankee Stadium, because I waited all my life to play a game at Yankee Stadium, and you go and it's in the World Series, and so.
You mean when David Wells was pitching? I don't know if I remember that.
Here's the pitch to him. He swings and belts one down the right field line. This one is on its way, and it hits the facing of the upper deck. A 2-run homer for Tony Gwynn.
You guys got all these
4-2 San
all
Diego.
this stuff this morning. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to
We
leave
relive
here.
it over and over and over again.
I got to ask you about this home run. Where was that? I mean, I know you hit 3,000 knocks.
Yeah.
Where'd that home run come from?
It just
perfect stroke.
You know what? I told Merv Rettman before I went up to the plate. He was our hitting coach, and I told him if he tries to come inside here, I'm going up top. And, and as a hitter, that doesn't happen. I'm preaching to my guys all the time. That does not happen very often. But in the big leagues, it happens a lot because pitchers are creatures of habit, and he slid. He was a runner on first, and he did the slide step. He didn't really pick his leg up and come home. He had done that before earlier in the game and threw a slide step fastball. So I kind of put 2 and 2 together, and I mean, I never hit a ball like that. And, I get more credit because it hit the facade of the second deck like it was
Still did it.
just
In
a
the
monster
series.
blast, and it's really like 340 feet.
Well, it still would have kept going because that
It's
was on a
huge.
rope.
Yeah, and it gave us the lead at the time, too. So
And people forget that Greg Vaughn followed up and hit
Absolutely.
another one right after and hit one and left, and you guys were up 5-2 in
Yep.
Game 1 of the World Series, and our memory ceases there.
after that, well, I do remember a It
was a strike.
It was a strike. Thank you. I was just going to say.
Hey, Garcia, it was a strike.
It was a strike.
2-2 fastball to Tino Martinez down the
and
middle.
Then he smoked it.
And the whole series changed after that, of course, for us Padres.
I don't remember that.
Tony, a question for you that might be it might be private, but I'll try it anyway. Do you know, as a superstar hitter, and one of the very few guys who has 3,000 hits, that you just can't teach that? It's just something that you've got. I know you're a coach now, but you just can't teach that.
How much can you teach, and how much is natural?
And isn't it a little bit of a struggle for a guy who's trying to teach his kids how to hit the ball, that you're never going to be able to teach them to do what you do? You either got it in you or you don't.
There's some truth to that, but I think...
You know that about you, right?
I guess in a sense, yeah. Yeah, you knew you were one of the lucky ones. You knew you were...
I don't mean that in a defeatist way.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're saying, but it's... The principles can be taught, and that's what I try to teach is the principles.
Cool.
You can be as good as you can get.
Certain things you have to do in order to be the best hitter that you can be, and that's really the level that I kind of live on every day when I'm working at San Diego State. But at the same time, you kind of know in the back of your mind, who's got it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And those guys, when it really comes out, and I'll give you an example because he played for me last year. My son, when I was working with him at State, there would be days where you see flashes of, what it could be. And in other days, it was like,
oh, no.
Man, supposed to be my son, And
what happened?
And what happens is the more experience you get, the more of those flashes seem to come out. And now, after getting drafted last summer, I see him a whole lot more often now than I did when he was at San Diego State. So... I told him when he left that there are going to be times where you're playing and you're not going to understand. Just remind yourself of some of the things I tried to tell you, because it's going to come ringing in to you, and you're going to have to figure it out on your own now. And I think that's turned out to be true. So I think there's certain guys who are blessed with this ability of, seeing a baseball, recognizing situation, good hand-eye coordination, and whatever that combination is. When it all comes together in one guy, like in today's game, I think it would be like a Barry Bonds or an Albert Pujols. When it comes together, it stands out like, everybody can see it.
Where is Anthony now?
He's playing, last year he played in Beloit, Wisconsin, which was A-ball for the Brewers. And he's hoping to go to Double-A, which is Huntsville, Alabama, this year. So he's kind of working his way up the ladder.
I have a very, very personal story that I want to tell you about you, that I'm going to save to the end of the interview because you might get pissed off and walk out of here.
Like so many interviews before you.
Because it's not very complimentary.
Well,
but first, I want to talk
nice
about...
Nice setup, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Maybe I should leave
early.
early.
In the palm of your hands, pretty
Enjoy
much.
your stay. No, you're a guy. You can take it. I know you. I think you'll get a kick out of it because I just observed you one time, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Good. Thanks.
Get it over. Pull off the Band-Aid.
Get the Band-Aid off. No, I'll tell you what it is. When you're just a regular guy like me and you're watching a superstar Hall of Fame athlete, sometimes when they screw up, you go, okay, he's human.
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching you one time play golf at a place that I play golf a lot. And it was the 9th hole, and it's a shorty, and it's easy to hit it into the water. And you hit it right up to the water. And it's just a little chip up onto the green. And you dumped it in the water.
What course are we talking about?
It rhymes with Vidaris.
Oh, okay.
And you so chunked it into the water. But check this out now. Here's the happy ending. Mm-hmm. You dropped your ball like you're supposed to, and you put it about an inch from the hole. You stuck it so close.
Well, see, that's the thing. You see, because, when you have the ability to hit a baseball, people just think it's going to translate to golf.
Well, you can, though.
I do. It just goes straight left.
You pull it. Like Ted Williams, that inside pitch, pull it.
I'm working my hands to the inside, and that ball's going left all day long. So.
Let's talk about what the Aztecs are going to be doing at Petco. This is so cool. The very first game that is ever played at Petco Park is going to be Tony Gwynn's Aztecs. Sweet. And this is so exciting on so many levels. Mm-hmm. And one of them, particularly for the folks at San Diego State, is that more than likely they're going to smash the all-time college baseball attendance record.
For a single game.
Yeah, for one game.
And that's the goal. You know, the record's 27,673, which was set a couple years ago. LSU played Tulane in the Superdome. And to me, it's so cool because this is the first night Petco Park's going to be open. It's an opportunity on its first night to go into the record books as being the biggest crowd in a single game.
And you're in the dugout.
And I'd like to
You're
win,
there,
too.
man.
I want to win, too.
And it's against the team that hosted the record-setting game, Houston, on Thursday, March 11th. Houston and San Diego State, 7 o'clock at Petco.
And you're going to be there, Skipper.
Yeah.
This is so. I mean, are you jealous?
You know what?
About this ballpark?
I shot a Aztec promo thing down there, and And I'm standing at home plate and I'm going through the spiel. You can get tickets and
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the commercial, my line is, man, if I could have just held on to this ballpark a couple more. And you know what? I really meant it. It was.
I believe it.
It's just standing in that batter's box. You just feel at home, and that's for a baseball player. That's how you want to feel. You want to feel in a very comfortable state, like you're a place that you've always been, and in that ballpark with those surroundings, that's how I felt. So yeah, I'm very jealous.
It's a spectacular.
Have you gone so far as to actually kind of calculate how many knocks you think you could get?
Oh yeah.
How many hits do you think you could have gotten in a year there?
With in a healthy
if you're
season,
healthy and you stay in
411 in the right center field, oh man, I could have had a field day. I could have had a field day. There's a couple of parks around the league you say that about, and Fenway was one. You go to Fenway and you look at how close the left field wall is, and you say, oh man, I could have carved balls off of this wall. And when you go into Petco, the Western Metals building is right on the line, the left field line, and it's not that far. And my style of hitting 411 in right center field, man, I would have had a lot of room to work with. But
now this game that you're going to be coaching, Tony, is Thursday, March 11th.
Right.
And this is Houston versus the Aztecs. It's a 7 o'clock game.
Right.
And we are encouraging people. There's two big things going on here. Number one, this is your first chance to see a game at our brand new park. And secondly, this is an opportunity for you to be part of the all-time single game college attendance record. Now, it's only 27,000. I got to think they're going to smash this by 6,000, 7,000 people.
Well, I hope so.
It's got to happen.
It'll be great. It's not just involving San Diego State. All the local colleges are involved in this tournament. USD, UCSD, and Point Loma will play on Friday. USD is involved in the rest of the tournament. We've got teams, nationally ranked teams from all over the country: Nebraska, Long Beach State, University of Houston, UCLA. And so it's an opportunity not only just on Thursday, but an opportunity for the whole weekend. If you want to come down, see the park, support your local club, hey, it would be great. We'd love to have, I'd like to sell it out every day. But, we're not being picky. We just want to give people an opportunity to come in, watch some college baseball, hopefully like it, go see the ballpark, see how your view is going to be from your seats for you season ticket holders. Try the concessions out. I know obviously a lot of people kind of going to wonder what kind of stuff they're going to have on sale, and it's for us, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. So we're very thankful to the Padres for giving us this opportunity, and at the same time, we don't want to just go out there and stink up the joint either. We want to win some baseball games, but it's going to be against very tough competition.
You know what? I saw the pricing schedule for the seats for the Padres at Petco, and I thought, well, that's not that bad. I mean, the good seats are not that expensive. But check this out. The individual ticket prices for each day of this 4-day invitational are $10 for students.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, because some people aren't going to want to see every game in 4 days. There's 10 games in 4 days. And if you want to go and maybe see your team play, you can buy a day of the game ticket, $15 for adults, $10 for students. And you can go watch 3 games on the weekend. You can see 3 teams play 3 different games. And so, the pricing is definitely right. I think people are really starting to get excited about this. The season's coming up, and we're very thankful for the opportunity to break in Petco, and hopefully we can break it in right.
Jenny, you want to say hi to Tony Gwynn?
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Jenny.
I just wanted to share with everyone that in February of '98, I was traveling with my daughter, and we were returning home to San Diego, and you were at the gate waiting to take a flight, and my mom was there to pick us up. And, of course, naturally, my mom being the character she is, she just approaches you and starts talking to you and tells you, that she's there waiting for her granddaughter. And my daughter and I walk off the airplane, and you were standing next to my mom, and you put your hand out and you said, "Hi, Michaela, my name is Tony Gwynn." And my daughter at 5 years old was just amazed. And, she's 11 now, and I just wanted to tell everyone that this is like when you ask her hey, what's cool, and she shares at school all the time that she met Tony Gwynn.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool because, he's an awesome guy. He's a great athlete. Growing up in San Diego, if you don't know who Tony Gwynn is, you just need to move. And, we're talking about a little girl, and she still remembers that to this day. I mean, that's the human Tony Gwynn. He's not arrogant. There's so many asses in sports today, and you are just phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
I just wanted to share that with you because I know that you probably have a lot of things that go on, and you don't remember things. But you're like the highlight of my daughter's life.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey, you know what, Jenny? My daughter, Carly, when she had just turned 6, sang the anthem on the night that the Padres beat the Giants in 1998 to go into first place and never turn around and look back for Sky Show. And I doubt I will ever live as exciting of a baseball season as 1998 was. I mean, my God, how great that was. But
I love the Padres, but it's Tony Gwynn we love.
We were standing in this ramp. You walk out of the locker room area in this ramp that you walked up how many thousands of times at Qualcomm Stadium. We're just standing there all by ourselves, and Tony Gwynn walks by all by himself, and his cleats clacking on the concrete, and he says, "Hey, kid." And Carly didn't say anything. And Tony gets about 3 or 4 more steps up the ramp, and I said, "Carly, Tony Gwynn just said hi to you." And you know what Tony says? Walking away? "Yeah, and she didn't say nothing to me."
Poor little Carly. She's about to go in front of the whole stadium and sing the national anthem, and manners come into play.
All right, these tickets go on sale tomorrow, right? Tomorrow to see the Aztecs playing Houston, and this is a 4-day series versus with different teams involved.
Right.
But it's the Aztecs and Houston, and the tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for students, and we are looking at setting a brand new all-time college baseball attendance mark. And I really got to think you guys are going to totally smash this thing.
Oh, we hope so. We hope so. We like I said, we'd love to have that first game on Thursday because that's the only game played that day. And that's the only one that this record could qualify for is a single game. And so we'd love to give that a shot. And then for the rest of the weekend, love to see people out there. Hopefully the weather will be good. I know the baseball is going to be good. We're looking forward to going out and trying to break in the park right. I know the Padre guys I'm sure are sitting on the edge of their seats hoping we take care of their field. But we're going to take care of the field and hopefully play well.
How's your professional retirement going for you? Digging
really
it?
Good.
Good.
Really good. I'm enjoying myself at San Diego State. I get plenty of things I'm doing in the summers, and so it's been good.
Tony, as always, it is a pleasure to share your town with us, and thanks for coming in and hanging with us, and we wish you the best of luck coming up on March 11th when the Aztecs break in Petco Park.
Thanks.
That's going to be huge. Absolutely huge.
The 1-0 to Gwynn. There's a line drive into right field, headed toward the gap. Michael Tucker can't get it. Going to the wall. Kilfield Bears round in third. Here's a throw from D into the plate. He'll score. Tony Gwynn with a stand-up double to the gap in right center. And the Padres have the lead 1-0.
The DNC! Dave Shelley and Chainsaw will be right back.
This is the KGB.
1015. Oh, I got no bits.
Uh-oh.
What do you want me to do, big fella? You want to talk about Tony Gwynn for a little bit?
Sure. I got my domes wrong there. It was Louisiana Superdome, not Houston. That set that record of 27,673.
Yeah, he was looking at you like, I don't think so, Cookie. But that's Tony Gwynn. He's not going to correct anybody, even though when he knows differently. He's such a stud. That guy's a nice guy.
He is a terrific fellow. And it's next Thursday night against the University of Houston at 7 o'clock at Petco Park. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful facility. It's your chance to do it fairly cheaply and accessibly, because I'll tell you what, for that first month or so, you better get on it right now to get your season packages for Petco Park if you want to see the Padres there. The individual game tickets don't go on sale until later on this month. So check Petco Park or Padres.com for your Petco Park availability for the Padres. But this is your chance. A week from last night, next Thursday night, are we talking about?
What? No. March 11th. What are you talking about?
I'm high. It's March 11th.
It's only
No,
February.
it's a month away, Cookie.
Yeah.
But they go on sale.
Let's start drinking.
They go. I was all in favor of that. I've come down from my parking lot rage.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, can we drink anyway?
Why not?
Okay, but it's March 11th.
March 11th is the game in which the Aztecs will break in Petco Park, and they're going to, I think, have easily no problem smashing the all-time college baseball attendance mark. Who doesn't want to go see this game? The tickets go on sale tomorrow, and they're $15. God, that's like free.
$10 for students. I know my kid, who's an Aztec, he goes to San Diego State. He's all pumped up about this. All his dorm are going. They're all going, and he can't wait to see Petco Park. And having been there, it's just spectacular. I mean, you see downtown, you see streets from up in the stands. I can't think of another ballpark that allows you to do that.
It's so great looking,
It's
too.
awesome.
And it's evident. I was saying I took my parents, and they were like, wow, that's cool. They're not even baseball fans.
Yeah.
It's so great looking.
Valina, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Excuse me?
Is your name Valina?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, we want to hear, me and Kathy at Western Plastics want to hear the Carly's version of the national anthem.
There's two reasons I can't play that for you.
What?
Number one, I don't have it.
Oh, great.
It's at home. Number two, she would be so mad at me if I played that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did you think it was
Okay,
bad?
well, we thought you were lying anyways.
Oh, no, she did it.
Yes, she
did.
She did it. She did it for sure.
We were all there. We witnessed
Right
it.
on.
She had just turned 6, like, a week.
Oh, great.
And she went out and did it. And I tell you, you talk about one of the thrills of your lifetime, watching your kid do this, and then the Padres go ahead in a barnstormer game. Do you remember that night, Chainsaw?
I do.
That was Sky Show night, and they beat the Giants. They beat Barry Bonds. They took over first place in the NL West, and they never looked back.
Of all people, it was Ruben Rivera who had a killer game that night.
Of all people.
Yeah, and we were down there on the field behind the stands. No, stay back, because we were supposed to go out on the field for some sort of ceremony, and we couldn't even see it when the place was going nuts.
Yeah. It was just it was such a great, great night. And Shelley threw the first pitch.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
How could you forget about that?
It's just been. It's
You
been
threw
so
a
long
strike.
ago. Yeah.
Do you remember you and I were playing catch?
We were
Right
I
in front of the
almost hit a guy.
dugout.
I know.
Right down on the field, on the grass, we were playing catch.
Yep.
Hey, man.
God, I'd forgotten that.
She really did, though. She sang it. She did a good job, but she would be so mad at me if I played it because she was only 6 years old at the time, and now she thinks she's Christina Aguilera.
Well, she rocked the house, though.
Okay, well, you guys, we love your show.
Thank you.
All righty.
Say hi to everybody there at the Plastics.
All right.
You got anything you want to talk about or no? It's up to you. I'm taking you at your word. I mean, if you want to wait till next one or what?
Yeah, next one.
Okay, you got it, man.
I'll be ready in a second.
Got it, no problem. Hey, it's February.
We're making stuff up.
Jill Underwood. The Hoofs movie review is next. Stand by. It's KGB. Here is Route 66.
Thank you so much. We still have some slowing north 805 right around the 52. And a 3-car accident on the 805 as you approach Telegraph Canyon Road. That's blocking the right lanes. Northbound 5, there's a crash on the ramp to the 163. Westbound 94 still slows on the approach into downtown. 5 still heavy from Santa Fe down to Manchester. Watch the NBA in HD this Saturday night when the New Orleans Hornets battle the Milwaukee Bucks. Order Cox high-definition cable today. Call 619-262-1122 or 760-599-6060. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw, 101.5 KGB.
In oil machine.
Good morning, campers.
So hit it.
Yeah! Come on! Dave, Zoe, and Chainsaw got sacked.
Dave, Jilly, and Chainsaw.
I love you. Got sacked? Yeah, baby. I do. Are you open yet?
Yeah!
We're loafing. Come on.
Come on.
Who's your daddy?
Dave Shelley and Chainsaw. But it would. Benjamin.
101 KGB.
Here she comes. It's hoof time. To get you into your weekend movie watching, Jill Underwood, who will have you know that she is a Time correspondent.
Not after today, probably. I'm
Why?
having a bad story.
Are you? What happened? What's wrong?
It's on religion. That's why it made me think of you and your dad being the minister.
Well, what's the matter? What's wrong with your story?
Oh, it's just a tough story.
Oh.
It's on Massachusetts and religion and blah, blah,
Okay,
blah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not a
That's a
controversial topic.
no, it's same-sex union.
Has to do with Dave's dad because Dave's dad is gay?
Right.
I just always think of Dave. I don't know why. But before I start, I have to tell you, no more four hooves for Legally Blonde 2 these days. That's because I can see. Thanks to the LASIK surgery I had at 1-to-1 LASIK, I had a special eye condition, and Dr. Sanford Feldman came in on Thanksgiving to take care of me. 1-to-1 LASIK at 858-273-0200.
How you doing?
I can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris Boyer has never looked better to me.
Oh, good God. I should have
He's so
explained that
awesome.
would be the end.
He botched it.
Love is blind.
All right.
So-
my kids are barking at me to take them to a couple of movies. One is the Owen Wilson movie.
What's that? Don't look at me. Oh, no, I told you about that. Well, no, I wasn't here last week. But I would have told you it sucked. The big bounce.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, that's no good.
They want to see Polly, which was cute. And,
Tad Hamilton.
nah, they've already been to see that.
Right.
And something else, I don't know what it was. What are we reviewing today?
Well, we're going to talk about two movies. One is Miracle. The other is another one called Catch That Kid.
Miracle.
But before I begin, you have to know that I am having dinner with your girlfriend tonight,
Who's my girlfriend?
Marianne Coochie.
Ah.
Coochie. Coochie, you want me to pass a little love note for you? Also, Roy Devine, who interviewed you.
Wait, stop. What?
Joe?
What is
Okay.
going on here?
Nothing.
Guys, you can't do this to me. I'm in charge. What is going on?
Too, I want to know.
Well, Coochie was on the phone wanting to talk to you about her secret signals, but then she heard that you lost your parking space and she kind of hung up, I think. So I think that's what Emily's
Sure heard
telling
I was
me.
in a bad mood.
I brought her on because I wanted to put you in a good mood, but I'm just going to have to pass the note tonight at dinner for you.
She's not wearing pearls today. I obviously got through to her. I reached her.
Is that what it is?
She wants nothing to do with it because
She
she's not
hung
wearing the
up.
pearls today.
No.
No, she's waiting for her own pearl necklace from Dave.
Easy.
Good choice, Jill.
You happy
that
now?
funny?
Way to pick
A
'em.
good personal choice you made there,
Yeah.
Joey.
Is that funny, honey?
Is that another good one, honey?
Another good one. Honey!
Honey?
When are you going to leash him in? When is that choke chain going to come out?
Oh, I'm
Come
still
on,
working
make
on
the sisters
yeah.
happy. You're going to get kicked out of the club if you don't get some work done.
I'm telling you, those girls over at NBC, they know exactly what they're doing. I won't be satisfied until I complete my goal for this year. Because, you know, they do the news right in front of that window.
Right.
And I won't be satisfied until Kimberly King and I are making out in front of that window on the news. And no, I'm not kidding.
Well, you can come to dinner with us tonight. We got Rory Devine, Marianne Coochie, a few
Rory
others.
Devine?
She interviewed you for the CD.
I know. Women.
It's our dinner club tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Oh, you don't have to say.
We're going to La Jolla.
Oh, La Jolla?
Oh, really? 4 times a year we get together for dinner.
Very nice.
So anyway, we are talking about Miracle starring Kurt Russell and Catch That Kid starring Jennifer Beals. Cue Dave.
Made out with her here on the show.
You did not make out with her.
Made out with her.
Not. We were all here in the room with you. You
Pretty
never
sure
made
she
out
felt
with
me
her.
up or something.
Good God.
I am so scared of
Actually,
you
that
today.
was her
I
body
so did not
double.
want to come in here.
That was her body double who felt you up, like in Flashdance.
Fine. Whatever. As long as you get a piece.
As long as you get off. So, when you start seeing ads for a movie which proclaims it the best movie of the year and it's only February, you gotta know, I don't know about this.
Well, you
but
know those people do that just so they can see their own quotes in print.
Yeah, and sometimes even just make them up. They're not even real people.
Yeah, I know.
But in this case, Miracle is everything hockey is supposed to be.
Yes.
David!
God, I was hoping this was going to be a good movie.
It is so cold, hard, and wet. You can actually feel like you're there, kind of like the first time I ever saw Chris Boyer. But I digress. It's 1980, and Dave and Chainsaw have yet to overpower the Ruskies single-handedly with a poisoned and erect nipple shield. So we still aren't friends with those Gorby-stained savages. Now, with an average age of 21, the U.S. hockey team, made up mostly of college players, is about to take on the more experienced Russian team who hadn't lost in 20 years. Do you remember where you were when you saw that?
Yeah, my dad had finished church preaching, my father the minister, and dear God, please let the Americans win today. And I'm not kidding. He did.
It was a great feeling.
And you're welcome, because it was clearly my father invoking
sending a message.
the superpowers of God Almighty. So you're welcome.
He has a bat signal to God.
My dad's trick.
Cool. Yeah.
That was your freshman
Bad
year at
signal.
college, wasn't it, Dave?
80?
Yeah.
Yes. But
What were you doing home?
JC for a year.
Oh, okay, cool.
First year JC.
I was wondering about that.
52-year-old Kurt Russell, cue Dave.
Has he been on the show?
No, but wouldn't it have been cool if he was? Wouldn't that be cool? I didn't think people would remember. He plays U.S. coach Herb Brooks as a tough, no-nonsense, and not very likable guy. And here is the reason. He said that actually he really rethought doing this role because he has to wear those 1970s/80s wow rubber band kind of clothes. He wore like polyester with the big plaids and the members-only jacket. And he's got that low part, and he just hated it. But he does such a great job in this movie. You really, really don't like him. Also on hand is Eddie Cahill as goalie Jim Craig. Shell, get ready for a new image in your happy place.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know who this guy is? He's the one that played Jennifer Aniston's young boyfriend, Tag, her assistant who she fell in love with.
Oh, yeah.
At the office.
We love him. And
Can
I
he
got
skate?
that thing on my website, too, with him.
Can
with
he
Cat
skate?
Anderson.
Can he skate? Can
Yeah,
he play?
I don't know.
Because he's the goalie. Goalies
Doesn't
don't have to skate. They
Doesn't
just
have
stand there.
Well, now knowing what I do about Marianne Cushy's pearl necklaces and fishnet stockings, I feel it's probably safe to note that every time the real Jim Craig blocked a point attempt, it was in fact a secret signal to Dave. Even though it was 24 years ago, I'm pretty sure he too wanted you. Now, because we all do. It is a feel-good movie. I felt like such a jingoist after seeing this movie. It's just a rebirth of nationalism. I knew how it was going to turn out, and the whole time I was like, yeah. People were crying in this movie. I mean, it was so great. The only sad thing is that he died, the
Herb
coach
Brooks.
died in a car accident right before it came out, so he didn't get to see it. It was very sad. So anyway, Three Hooves. It is a movie that everyone can go see, the entire family.
Legally Blonde gets 4. But Miracle.
I can see now.
Miracle.
Thanks to 1-to-1 LASIK, that's in Claremont. I can see Chris Boyer better than ever. On to Catch That Kid, which just sounds like such a dumb name, such a dumb movie. It's like, why don't you just call it Dirt? I mean, Catch That Kid, ooh, danger. It is directed by actress Julianne Moore's partner, you know, that redheaded actress that's really good. So I thought, this has got to be okay because he's not going to make a dopey movie. But it is a tweeny-weeny movie, which means kids 8 to 11 will like it. It's kind of like the Mod Squad for ankle biters. One black, one white, one girl, and they go to rob a bank.
This must be the other one I got to go see, apparently.
It could, ooh.
Yeah, I know.
They rob a bank to get money because one of their parents is sick. I went into this about as excited as I was to listen to the Encore show when my very non-Metro boyfriend talked about being a salad shooter. So I will be so excited to hear what you have to say about this movie.
How'd that go for you?
1 hoof for this movie, 0 hooves to you. So
how'd that go for you? How'd you like that?
I wouldn't know, but I got a lot of calls that day. Tucson, your old friend Rich Barrett called up and said, so, I hear you. And I'm like,
I was talking to him yesterday. I was talking to Rich for about an hour yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I got a call today.
The subject of you came up, and he says, isn't Jill great? And I said, well, she's effing Boyer. I mean, what is that all about? And he says, yeah, I know. I don't know what that's all about. And I said, do you know that Boyer confessed today that he's a salad tosser?
Yeah.
I heard the phone drop all the way from Tucson.
Well, how do you think he introduced me today on the air? That's a good day. That's a Dave Reitner. Thank you. And I'm sending you a secret signal right now.
Setting you up. All right, thank you, Jill.
You're welcome.
So the review is good for Miracle. Catch that kid. Maybe if you're 8. This portion of the show is brought to you by the all-new Rancho Chrysler Jeep Dodge Superstore in Kearney Mesa. It's on Balboa right off the 163, and they're online at ranchoautogroup.com. Stand by the half-baked crack pot. Missive of misinformation. It's coming up next year's KGB. Here's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week telephone number that you can call for free legal advice. You know what? You might jot this down because maybe everything's ducky right now, but you never know when someone's going to drop a brick on your head and you need some legal advice. So why not write it down and just have it in case of a rainy day? How's that sound? 877-749-0000. That hooks you up with the legal experts at Pacific Law Center. Pacific Law Center, where they are there to protect your constitutional rights and exceed your expectations as their client. You know what? Maybe things in your life have gotten so bad that you can't even get to their office. Well, guess what? These lawyers and legal experts will even come to the privacy of your home if you can't get to them. That's what they mean by exceeding your client expectations. This is the law firm that tells you exactly what it's going to cost for their services up front, and they'll take your case with little or no money down. That sound like any lawyers you know? That was new on me when I heard about it. Pacific Law Center. That's their website, pacificlawcenter.com. 877-700-0000. From Clear Channel, where they will tow your car just for showing up for work. And I'm over it, apparently.
Hang on to it, Dave.
Damn straight I am.
Bitterness is a happy emotion sometimes.
Tow my car. How about I egg your office? You know? Seriously. You know, it's like writing out the memo. Hey, by the way, we've decided to change a couple things around here. And, we might just TP your office later today. What?
Especially if you don't make Employee of the Month.
And that's never going to happen to me.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
I know.
Ever.
Well.
And do you want to be Employee of the Month?
Well, no, because I get a parking place much closer than the ones they reserved. You know, because I get here really early, kind of like Clint, who's the Employee of the Month, and now has to park a mile away from the door that he enters. And
well, I don't think you have to
out.
take the space. I don't think you're obligated. I may be wrong, but I don't think there's a law.
Clint.
Tool.
Good grief.
I know.
And you're right. You really don't want to be Employee of the Month, do you? It's like being Student of the Month, Butt Kisser of the Month.
Yeah. Exactly.
Teacher's pet.
Teacher's pet.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who came up with this?
Some hamster in our town hall meeting.
We have town hall meetings? That's wrong.
I know it.
Oh.
Suggestion box. I suggest you go to hell.
Forget about it.
That's why they don't tell me where the suggestion box is. I suggest you kiss my white ass. It's got a bad attitude.
No.
You know, if you're going to do an Employee of the Month, though, why don't you do a, crappy attitude of the month, and those people have to park off the whole site. It's the same kind of, reward. I think
they just fire those people.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it a reward enough that you have a job?
Ooh.
Well.
Ooh, there's a place in management for you upstairs. I guarantee you, the executives upstairs are like, hey, that's the first sensible thing that woman said.
And if they won't hire you, somebody at Safeway is on line 4.
Well, I just don't understand. I mean, it's just such a bone that you're throwing that, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
How about just, be grateful you have a job and treat your employees well?
Yes.
And then you should do the same for the company.
We're happy if the stock goes up. We're happy if we're still in business.
Well,
that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
I've been shooting my mouth off too much today. I might be in trouble after the show.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Dave. I didn't expect to talk to you.
You didn't expect what?
I just wanted to talk to you. I just wanted Emily to tell you that you didn't have to be Employee of the Month because you're Employee of the People. We've already picked you.
God bless you, Bobby.
You guys too. We love you. Bye.
See you, Bobby.
See you.
Bobby checking out for me.
Bobby.
Taking care of me.
Sweet.
All right. Are we doing the news?
If you want to, we can.
I don't even want to talk about this top story.
I know.
I almost cried when I heard this morning.
Sad.
This is just, and
I know. Well, let's just get it out of the way.
he killed that kid.
I know. He totally did. The father of 11-year-old Carly Bruchea has thanked everyone for their efforts to find his daughter. This was a news conference after Florida police announced that his daughter's body had been found. There's no bright spot, but they do have the guy. Joseph Smith, an unemployed mechanic, remains in custody in her abduction and murder. Here is Carly's stepfather, Stephen Kanzler.
All the people behind me and all the people that were behind them in their efforts to find my daughter, and the community that was so involved, and for the part that you people in the media played.
You've probably seen it by now. Carly's kidnapping Sunday was caught by a car wash surveillance camera. Like I said, the guy that they know did it is in custody and has been charged with her abduction and murder. There was a horrible explosion in Russia, and now Russia's president says his country will not negotiate with terrorists. Vladimir Putin made this statement on Russian television hours after an explosion reportedly killed around 39 people in Moscow's subway system. Authorities are investigating the blast as a terrorist attack. Putin says Russia doesn't conduct negotiations with terrorists. Instead, he says it destroys them. Putin also says the explosion could be tied to next month's presidential election, and he thinks it might be something used as a means of pressure on him. Can Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld offer any new insight into the hunt for Osama bin Laden? Some commanders have expressed recent optimism that they're closing in on the terrorist mastermind. Rummy was asked about it by reporters while he was on his way to Germany for a NATO meeting. He said he's always believed we will ultimately find him.
I suppose what that may be a reflection of is their enthusiasm, the fact that they feel they're well organized and they're disciplined and they're working the problem, and they're hopeful.
And when it comes to the decision to invade Iraq, President Bush says he has no regrets. He was speaking in Charleston, South Carolina. Here's more from the president.
Knowing what I knew then and knowing what I know today, America did the right thing in Iraq.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, investigators are trying to figure out how the poison ricin got into the mailroom of Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist. Military analyst Gary Pounder says ricin is readily available.
The base material used to produce ricin is the castor bean, which is a plant that's used to make everything from castor oil to brake fluid to include the poison ricin. It's grown literally worldwide to include countries like the U.S. and Iraq.
Let's make sure we tell everybody that.
Yeah.
Let's get the word out.
But, you know, we had castor bean plants all over our property when I was a little kid growing up, and we were warned repeatedly, don't eat the beans. They're poison. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
Pounder, that military analyst, said that Saddam Hussein's government had a lot of ricin and that nobody knows where it went. He's the only guy saying that. But
And you know, when I was a kid, growing up in Chicago, they had bushes. We had bushes at our house, and I don't remember what they were.
Mm-hmm.
But every spring they would have these little white berries that would grow on them.
Right.
And they were fun to pick and smash and do all sorts of stuff. And they always told us, don't eat those. They're deadly poison.
Right.
Well, don't get rid of them or anything.
Keep them around the kids.
Because I'm thinking to myself, I got kids now, and you know what? On my to-do list, plant poison in my children's yard.
Right.
What were they thinking?
I don't know.
Well, you didn't have a helmet to ride a bike, and there were no seat belts, and you stood up in the car, and it was very dangerous to be a kid when we were kids.
True.
I didn't plant poison in my yard, though, when my
mother
children
did.
were born.
She did. She planted the
So
castor
did my
beans.
kids,
We
or
wanted
my
to be
parents.
shady over there.
Yeah.
But and you can play over there in the shade.
These
but
are just
don't
lame
eat 'em.
bushes.
I know it.
We had some sort of a bush at my grade school that a kid ate. His name was Wes, and he ate a bunch of the leaves at lunch.
He was a leaf eater?
He was a leaf eater. And he went back to school after lunch and liberated his collection of leaves all over his desk.
No.
He issued forth with the essence of his intestinal tract.
The poor kids who in school upchuck. I mean, that's all they're remembered for. Like
I did.
Tammy Ferranti, you know? It's all you did.
I didn't make it.
School hurler.
Tile.
Oh.
No, for my, excuse me, what are those linoleum tile at Beard School, second grade.
Oh.
Yeah, but you probably didn't.
I was on my way out.
I need the subject changed quickly.
Huh?
Quickly.
What?
'cause
Okay.
it's really upsetting me.
Steve ever say peed his pants in school? You ever do that?
I'm all right
Yes,
with that.
I did.
Kevin Fry pooped his pants.
Yes, I did. Oh, I never pooped my pants.
Yeah, pooped his pants and everyone was
A couple
kicking him
times
in
at
the butt.
work, but that's about it.
You peed your pants at school? You bedwetter?
Yes, I did.
Jeez.
I tied in third grade. I tied my coat around my waist when we went out to recess, and it didn't fool anybody. I peed your pants,
I
huh?
know, and I forget her name, but one little girl did the same thing, and she tried to tell us a mosquito got on her and wet her.
Yeah.
And we were, yeah, it's just so, even in the first grade, you know, I mean, that's just
A parent would probably sue if that happened today to kids today in school.
This guy was standing up for show and tell, talking about his coin collection or something, and all of a sudden,
He blossomed?
right down the leg, right on big puddle in the floor. There was no catch.
No absorbency.
No absorbency. It was right down
Linda
the leg.
Blair and The Exorcist just
Must have been like
spattering.
parachute pants or something.
Yeah.
You needed a peenie pad.
Peenie pad? What's a peenie pad?
Penis cozy.
Penis cozy, right? It's an old Saturday
Sounds kinda
Night Live
good.
commercial.
Yeah.
A penis padding. No, that's not bad. Well, we are making some efforts or some progress in Iraq. 6 suspects who are alleged to be closely tied to Saddam Hussein were captured in raids in Iraq. U.S. military commanders say those arrested are suspected in the attacks against U.S. forces and strikes against our military helicopters. Now, President Bush, meanwhile, is expected to form a panel. This will investigate intelligence failures relating to the war in Iraq. An administration source says Arizona Republican John McCain, who called for the probe, will be named to the commission.
Oh, don't take that off my screen. I don't want to see that.
You do, Emily.
All kinds of awful, horrific things. Get it off. Get it off.
Oh, no.
Get it.
So a new poll says President Bush's public support has dropped sharply over the last month, especially among older voters, political independents, and people in the Midwest. Voters who say they will definitely vote against Bush outnumber those who will definitely vote for him, 43 to 37%. That's the first time that's happened in the polls. 2 years of tracking the question. Bush's approval rating is 47%, down from 56% just a month ago. Bush's 47% approval rating is the same as his dad's at this stage 12 years ago.
Here is a thing that floats around the internet quite a bit, and it talks about what we were talking about just a minute ago, having poison in our yard, no helmets, and no seatbelts. It says if you lived as a child in the 60s or the 70s, looking back, it's hard to believe that we survived.
Right.
Our baby cribs were covered with bright-colored lead-based paint.
Yep.
We had no child-proof lids on medicine bottles, doors, or cupboards, and when we rode our bikes, we had no helmets. As children, we were riding cars with no seatbelts or airbags. Riding in the back of a pickup truck on a warm day was always a special treat. We drank water from the garden hose, not from an Evian bottle. We'd spend hours building our go-karts out of scraps and then ride down the hill, only to find out, whoops, forgot the brakes. After running into the sticker bushes a few times, we learned how to solve the problem. That's another nice thing to have laying around the house. Sticker bushes.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put up some of that Nazi angle iron? Huh?
Barbed wire.
Why don't you just put up some spiked barbed wire?
Right.
Sticker bushes with those little red-orange berries that were poison.
Yeah.
So it was a double whammy.
Right.
What is that?
It's what your
Stupid.
parents put up for you.
Thanks, Mom,
Because they
Dad.
just don't want you around.
Love it.
Yeah.
Deep fly ball to deep front yard. 18 puncture wounds. Thank
I
you.
hate sticker bushes. We would leave home in the morning and play all day as long as we were back when the streetlights came on. No one was able to reach us all day. No phones, unthinkable. We got cuts and broke our bones and broke our teeth, and there were no lawsuits from these accidents because they were accidents. No one was to blame but us. We had rock fights and fist fights and punched each other and got black and blue and learned to get over it. We ate cupcakes, bread and butter, drank soda, but we were never overweight. Why? Because we were always outside playing. We shared one Coke with 4 friends.
No, not all of us did.
From one bottle, and none of us died. Were you that much of a
Right.
pain in the ass when you were a kid?
Oh, how can you even question that?
Really?
Of course.
Because, I mean, I am
This
now.
is from years of just genetic makeup that he's the way he is now. This started a long time ago.
I'm a ninny about sharing drinks now, but not when you're a kid.
Oh, he's an only child. He never shared with any other kid.
He never had to.
We did not have PlayStations, Nintendo, video games, 99 channels on Dish, video stores, DVDs, surround sound, mobile phones, personal computers, internet chat rooms. We had friends and sticks.
Yep. You invented games with 5 guys. How do you divvy it up? You make it up.
We made up games with sticks and tennis balls. We ate worms. We did?
I didn't eat a worm. I fished with them.
Didn't eat them.
I didn't eat worms.
Played with them.
Although Allie ate a snail one time.
Yeah. I remember that.
And a fly also.
Did you play kick the can?
Yeah.
Yes.
I played kick the can with my kids the other day. They loved it. Sports had tryouts, and not everyone made the team. Those who didn't had to learn to deal with the disappointment.
I got cut a few times.
Some students weren't as smart as others, so they flunked and were held back.
Yeah, and we called it flunked.
Our actions were our own. Consequences were expected. No one to hide behind. No one to blame. The idea of our parents bailing us out if we broke a law was unheard of. They actually sided with the stinking cops.
And they told me that all through my childhood. If you get arrested, you'll probably die in jail. Well, thanks, Mom. That's great. Unless you're right.
Of gonorrhea.
Kids today have it so easy.
Kids these days. Get them off my lawn.
But they're two good kids who are coming to the aid of their dad. The Bush twins may soon be on Dad's campaign trail. That's according to Mom, First Lady Laura Bush. She says the first couple's twin daughters may take part in Dad's re-election bid after they graduate from college this spring. They're 22 years old now. Jenna and Barbara considering what role they might play in the campaign. Jenna, a senior at the University of Texas, and Barbara, a senior at Yale, took no prominent roles in their dad's past campaigns. The First Lady also took issue with some of the negative campaigning against her husband because she stands by her man. And
Which Bush twin do you go after, Jenna or Barbara?
I think Jenna's the goer, isn't she?
She's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a Texas girl. Come on.
Well, so is Barbara.
Well, I know, but she's gone to Yale. She's kind of separated from her Texas roots.
Yeah, she's got that whole librarian thing going on.
A little bit, yeah. More like Mom, and I think really that Jenna's more like Dad, don't you? Well, I mean, in a good way, you know. Got more of that side of the family. Probably holds her liquor better, I would think.
What do you say, WWJD? What would Jenna drink? Is that your... Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, the First Lady expressed disappointment in the Super Bowl halftime show.
Who did?
Laura Bush, in which Janet Jackson's breast was briefly exposed. She says that represents the kind of television viewing that you don't want little children to see.
Did you hear what ER did yesterday?
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Do you have that story?
Well, yesterday, there was too much news to put it in, but what happened basically is they were going to show a breast reduction surgery.
No, it was a woman, like an 80-year-old woman who had a heart attack or some breast issue, and they were going to cancer or something. They were going to show a flash of her breast.
An 80-year-old breast. And they lovingly removed it so that we wouldn't create any more controversy.
How come they can't have Tara Reid in there doing that?
I know.
Why does it have to be an 80-year-old?
Don't know.
How come Tara Reid can't go in going, I got a boob on my owie boob?
And I still don't get why they pixelate the only part of her breast that was already covered up with that nipple cover.
I know, because everything else shows. Stupid. It is stupid.
It's very upsetting, isn't it, Chainsaw?
Very, very disturbed by this still, David.
We almost got through the day without talking about Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's more later in the news, too.
Good!
Litigation involved now.
Oh.
But let's first go to the Democratic scene, where presidential frontrunner John Kerry is looking to build more momentum. He's expected to pick up the endorsement
He doesn't have Joe-mentum.
He doesn't have Joe-mentum.
The Joe-mo.
But Joe doesn't have the Joe-mo anymore either. So,
Why?
Because he's out of the race.
Oh.
You're out.
Quit.
Goodbye. But Dick Gephardt is supposed to endorse Kerry. With that backing, Kerry also hopes to add more labor support to his campaign. Howard Dean's hopes on the Democratic front of the nomination hinge on Wisconsin. He sent an email out to all his supporters saying anything less than a win in Wisconsin will put him out of the race.
They hinge on everyone else dying, basically.
The email stands by itself. I wasn't smart enough to think about the email, although I think it was a brilliant ploy, and I certainly stand by it. But we're going to do what we said in the email. We're going to win here.
Dean says he'll practically live in Wisconsin until the February 17th primary.
Bring it on in Wisconsin!
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Bring it on in Wisconsin!
So you learned about that yelling thing, huh? Okay.
Hey, you know what I was just thinking? I'm a little disappointed in.
What's up?
That Arnold or George, either one, and I think it's really more Arnold's place, get in this mess with our grocery store thing and get this thing solved.
Arnold tried, and they flat out refused his help.
Well, then get George in here.
I agree. Something needs to be done.
You know, remember yesterday we were talking about these guys who are all fussing and fuming about trying to get constitutional amendments made to make gay marriage
Illegal, yeah. You got a bigger problem.
Get my Albertsons back in order, will you please? I am so sick of this thing. I'm so sorry for these people who are stuck outside without their jobs.
Yeah. And this is something that affects everyone who buys groceries and who doesn't on a personal day-to-day level.
This is something that matters.
Am I upset about gay guys or women getting married?
Not really. Not really.
Because you know what? It doesn't affect me every day.
Yeah.
Maybe not even one day out of a whole year. So,
I want this fixed.
It would be nice if politicians, either in Sacramento or in Washington, would actually focus on what matters to us, the people who elected you to office.
Yeah. Man, we are just really bitchy today.
I know, we really are.
How can you propose that government interfere with business?
I propose that they do.
Well, what
Next
about
question.
when
It seems
Reagan
meddlesome.
told the flight air traffic controllers,
They're government employees. Yeah, it's
you want to walk
different.
up? Well, I mean, it's no less troublesome.
What's
you
that?
know?
What?
Well,
It's true.
Yeah, it is. But what the point that Shelley and I are making is, how about the president calls these grocery store owners and says, they could get this thing fixed.
Right.
We're not saying he goes in and he, holds a gun to their head or anything like that, but how about just, lending a little support and trying to get this thing
And
fixed?
put a little pressure and build up a little public pressure. The governor and everyone wants you to fix it, so fix it. Spotlight on you.
Yes, exactly.
Why don't you call the unions and say, why don't you accept the offer?
Whatever. I don't care. Get the thing fixed because,
We're
as
sick
we're
of it.
trying to point out, this is something that is an issue that actually matters to people. This matters.
It actually
To the
interferes
shoppers
in our
and the
day-to-day
workers.
life. Right.
Yep. Gay marriage?
Doesn't interfere with my
Trying to
life.
think how I care about that.
Right.
And you're trying to get a constitutional amendment?
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding, right?
Actually, no.
Well, I'm not affected by the strike, and I'm.
Of course you are. Your grocery store is significantly depleted.
Don't shop there. What if you don't shop there? What if you go strictly organic and go
Well,
Jimbo's?
I didn't. I'm talking about something that matters to me. And he's just being Mr. Contrary because that's how he's assigned his little role here. And,
Well, what do you do? I mean, you've offered somebody a job and it pays this much, and they say we're not going to take it.
what you do as the president or the governor with immense power is you try to persuade people to solve their argument and get back to work. That's what you do.
As the governor, anyway, you explain to them how this is hurting the state economy. I mean, you know, it really is.
I just want it fixed.
And they're hurting both of themselves.
They're
The union's
hurting
getting
everyone.
hurt, the stores are getting hurt, and it's just because they're both butt-headed.
Yes, they're
And
butt-headed.
they need better leadership to get in there and just fix it.
Yeah.
Negotiate in good faith and don't take. And it's starting to be just like a pissing contest anymore
Yes,
now.
it is.
Oh, that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, they should have gotten the ruler out and measured because that's
Exactly.
really what it kind of comes down to.
Exactly.
It's like,
It
oh,
really
good
is.
God.
And
how
everyone's
juvenile.
suffering as a result.
That's right.
And you don't agree with it?
I don't think that you need to have government intervention in private business.
We're not saying intervention. We're
saying intervention.
Persuasion.
Persuasion and encouragement.
Well,
leadership.
Leadership.
Yeah.
If there's no penalty for not complying, then what's the
public opinion?
What's the good?
Goodwill of the state.
The good is getting our grocery stores back up to speed.
I know, but you don't have a governor or somebody who can call up and say, if you don't rehire these people, then we're going to do X.
I didn't say that.
There's no
I
more,
didn't say that. I
There's
didn't
more
say that.
powers of persuasions than that of threats.
Even if absolutely nothing came out of it, I would just feel better about the people that we have in elected office if they would look at stuff that matters to people and say, hey, you know what? I threw my hat in the ring and I tried to do something there. Even if you get nothing done, at least they try.
Use whatever powers of persuasions you have and get the public behind it and just put the spotlight on like a magnifying glass on an ant. Get it fixed.
And I will have to say, although I didn't vote for him, Arnold has offered. He's stepped up and said, hey, I'd love to help you guys out with this.
Do more than
you
offer. These
want my
guys,
help?
these
Yeah.
guys need to step up in
Yeah.
front of the TV cameras and say, hey, you know what, you guys? Quit acting like immature, spoiled little children and
Right.
solve your problems.
Right.
And get these stores back to being, you know, what you used to be proud of representing, you know?
Yeah.
Get over it.
Because everybody's getting hurt.
Including the grocery stores themselves,
Yeah.
who are an integral part of our state's economy. I would think that that would be very important.
And you know what? If Mr. Vons doesn't like that, okay, then don't vote for me.
It's kind of like a bad divorce where, you know, the man and woman fight so hard and spend so much time on lawyers, by the end of the day, they have nothing to split up.
Right. The only one who's made money are the attorneys.
Exactly.
Right. So what a self-defeatist attitude.
Money down the drain
You're
for
right.
everybody.
You're absolutely right. Oh, I think we all agree.
Beautiful.
We're very bitchy today.
Got some problems.
Back on the
Stay out of our
Democratic
way.
presidential campaign trail, General Wesley Clark was reacting to President Bush's comments justifying going to war with Iraq and administration pre-war conclusions that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction.
Why doesn't my cat run for president? Seriously.
I'm just trying to keep it fair and balanced by giving
It
them
is
all a
not
chance.
acceptable to invade countries when there's no imminent threat. That's simply wrong. It's against the way this country has always done its business. We don't do
No, it
things
isn't.
like that as Americans.
Vietnam was not an imminent threat to our security.
Korea.
Well, it's kind of funny how
And it's not the way we've always done things. And even if it is not the way we've always done things, that doesn't stop us from, hey, changing.
Yep.
You know?
Because you haven't done
Wes-
something before doesn't mean you can't do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But everyone's running away from it. And front page of most all your papers today, CIA chief
Shelley Dunn looking at the front page of the newspaper.
What? That's
ding,
right.
ding, ding,
George
ding.
Tenet, who says, I never told the administration there was an imminent threat in Iraq.
Where's the camera?
They're all scrambling away from that.
You know what? I have no problem with that whole thing. Who has to be convinced that Saddam Hussein was a bad guy and deserved to be run out? Who has a hard time
Not
buying
me.
that? I don't.
Not me, but what they did is they did fudge on the intelligence by.
I understand that. I understand that. What's lost on me is why.
It wasn't enough that he was a bad guy and needed to be
I
out.
guess. And I don't get that. And the guy was like one of the most horrifying men
Yeah.
I think the
of like
problem
five
is
guys in the 20th century, including Hitler and Mussolini.
Right.
I mean, he's right there with those guys.
and I think if we had Osama bin Laden under wraps,
Yeah.
because he's hurt us more directly,
Yeah.
I think nobody would have had a problem with fudging the reports that were used to
and the-
justify the war with Iraq.
Exactly.
But the point is, we were misled.
I understand that. I'm not arguing that. I agree with that.
They
I
just
just
used-
don't understand how's
The ends does not justify the means. Or
The guy
you're saying
was a
that the ends
bad
does justify
guy.
the means. Exactly. But I think in our world eye, Americans have a view that Osama bin Laden is a much worse guy, and that every effort and every penny that we spent in Iraq should have been spent in Afghanistan, finding the guy who actually hates us and actually has the power to do something about it.
Well, Saddam Hussein hates us.
But he
too.
didn't have any power.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, not to hurt us.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's in your mind.
It's opinion. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think that when you find a guy in a rat hole, that he pretty much had been expended of all his power.
Well, that's where Osama.
That's where Osama bin Laden
Yeah,
is.
supposedly,
He's
yeah.
in a rat hole. Should we give up on him because he's not?
No, absolutely not. I don't advocate that at all. What I object to is the money that was spent in Iraq that should have been spent. I believe in putting one foot in front of the other. And I think that Osama was our first point of business, and then maybe Saddam
I don't think they
Hussein.
skimped a dime on going after Osama through all this. I think it was a two-front war, if you will.
And maybe the panel will investigate that.
I think your problem and most Democrats' problem, and frankly, I'm a little bit annoyed by this, is that the Bush administration used the wrong selling point to get us there. I feel justified. That
Think they did it on purpose?
I think Cheney might have. I think Cheney made a big leap when he simply stated, there is no doubt that Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction. There is no doubt he is amassing them to use against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
So you think he lied?
I think he
Flat out
wasn't
lied.
sure. I think he flat out did not know for sure, and he acted like he did.
Well, if they lied,
And he didn't need to, because I think it was justifiable
Exactly.
personally to go in and get Saddam anyway. I
Exactly.
think
Well, then
they
who
used-
cares? Then who cares? That's
Because-
exactly my point. That is it right
Speaks
there.
to the issue of
Chainsaw.
credibility of Cheney
Exactly.
forevermore. Can you
And
trust
the
a
whole
guy?
administration.
I'm giving Bush a little more of a pass on him. I think it was Cheney and Rumsfeld who were the most strident with that.
well, if they're going to lie
Yeah,
about,
but you don't know. You just said you don't know.
With their quotes,
But you
I
just
do
said
know
you
for
don't
sure.
know. Well, I thought when you were clarifying yourself, you said, I don't know.
About what?
You sounded very fancy about whether or not he purposely lied to us, because you said, I think he didn't know.
No, he said he thinks Cheney might have done the lie.
That's not what he said.
Might have made a
You know
big
how-
leap.
okay, did he-
Chainsaw said that Dick Cheney, Chainsaw said his opinion was that Dick Cheney wasn't sure, so he made a guess. That's what Chainsaw
No.
said.
What I said was, or however I phrased it, Cheney was not sure,
Right.
but spoke as if he was.
Right. That's what okay, gotcha.
Right.
I understand you.
Now, if that's a lie, you know how people lie. Nixon never thought he lied when we all knew he lied. He's spoken untruth. If you want to call that a lie, yes, Cheney lied.
Well, OJ doesn't think he lied. He said it 3 times to himself. He convinced himself. And it is troubling, I think, to people that our government might be able to talk itself into something like this.
Exactly.
And
so do we call that a lie? Do we call that a lie when people talk themselves into it and actually believe it? I don't believe it. I don't believe Cheney when he said that. And it proves that I think it's been proven that he's wrong. He didn't. There was no doubt.
Right.
There was doubt.
Exactly.
Well, there can be no cover-up. I mean, nobody has said, hey, guess what, we found it. I mean, all they would have to do is paint a couple of weird figures on some little tube and say, wow, we dug this out of a rat hole. I mean, they could lie about that. If they were going to lie about the first reason to get in there, why wouldn't they lie about finding something? They based it on their very best intelligence to get in there.
How can we believe him from now on? And that's unfortunate because his credibility is eroded.
I don't think you understood what Boyer was saying just now.
I'm saying that if the first one was an intentional lie,
liars lie
to get in there.
So why wouldn't they fabricate the weapons of mass destruction to cover up their blunder?
I would imagine it would be because there would be too many people that would have to be let in on it that you would have to trust not to tell the truth.
They do that all the time.
Come on, black ops. I mean, it's...
Well, I mean...
And then conspiracy theorists throw out the same notion, and then people can't tell whether it's a conspiracy or actually true. Right. So you can still get away with stuff.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is if we found something there, then you could say, well, it could be a lie. Because that could be something we planned.
Or maybe Cheney dodged a bullet. Whew, I'm sure glad they found him because I wasn't sure before, but
you know
I said I was.
But you know what? If they do dig up an atomic bomb over there now, there will be people who will say, we planted it there to make the administration
Of course there
look
will.
good.
Well,
so there's always doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be one of those people. I'm a lot more concerned with
I'm not accusing you, Shell, at all. Not at all.
And I don't think most people would be that unreasonable. But I think that what the real concern is, and that's why there's a panel, that the president, albeit he's the one putting all the people on the panel, I'm relieved that McCain's going to be on there because I think he's a reasonable man.
Yeah, I'm kind of moving away from him.
I'm embracing him a little bit more.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Whatever suits your need.
Well, no kidding.
Got to take a time out. We're coming back. Lots more. Round 2 of the Crackpot News, Chainsaw Sports, the Chris Boyer featurette.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, coming up this Friday morning, the KGB. Oh, and I'm about to get towed, I think. It's getting close.
Will you go put your body between the tow truck and your car?
Yeah, you tow my car.
Tiananmen Square, baby.
Right.
Stand by, it's KGB. Here's Route 66.
We have slow traffic southbound 805 from Mira Mesa Boulevard to the 8th. Slow lane is closed down there and causing a backup. It's closed for Caltrans today. Help San Diego's Goodwill Industries provide training and jobs to people with disabilities by bringing your gently used clothing and household items to the nearest Goodwill store or donation center. Open 7 days a week. Call Goodwill 1-888-446-6394. I'm Ruth 66 with Dave Shelley and Chainsaw 1015 KGB.
Bark, 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 bark.
Bark, 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 bark. Crackpot.
Bark, 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 bark. All right, there's all the puppets. Bug, wait, why are you saying bug? I don't get it. Why are you clucking? That's stupid.
Little Emily just, while I was on hold, she called me on the phone, she goes, the effing grouch wants to talk to you in a second.
Yeah, that's me today for sure. All right, what are you doing at Saquon tonight?
Well, we got a chance for you to win the Loverboy Valentine's gift basket, which includes a pair of tickets to see Loverboy in
concert at Saquon.
On March 11th.
They're on sale now. Dinner for two. Plus a massage. Keep going.
A massage from a Via Day Spa and a gift pack
from Empire Beauty Supply. Shut up, Boyer!
Saquon Casino Resort is located at 385-5469
Casino Way.
We'll be there from 5 to about 6:30.
Beautiful. That's tonight.
Yeah.
Chance to hang with San Diego's original lover boy.
I am not.
Huh?
I am not.
Who said I was talking about? I was talking about you.
They're from Canada.
Come on, clock it. Come on.
Oh, that must be that Asian bird flu. Oh, no.
Threw a beak.
Yeah, I did.
Cracked his beak on that one.
I don't know it. I don't know the song.
How great of a day did we have yesterday at the Rancho Bernardo Inn?
Yeah, wasn't that course in great shape?
Just, you know what? I just love that whole package out there. I love the whole Rancho Bernardo Inn experience.
The widest sand traps you'll see in San Diego, I think.
Fluffiest.
Yeah.
Just fluffiest sand traps.
You gotta wear sunglasses to get your ball out of there.
We didn't exactly have our best day yesterday, did
No? What happened?
we? We weren't playing very well.
What'd you hit?
49.
You proved your theory wrong, though. You proved your post-birdie theory wrong.
Yeah, we have a theory. With
Yeah.
just us regular golfers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just the regular guys, not the superstars to go out with us. Regular golfers. You birdie a hole, your next hole,
Blow up.
blow up.
Your head falls off.
Double bogey at best you can hope for. And for the first time in my life, I really think the first time in my life, I birdied number 8 yesterday, and then I followed it up with a par.
Wow.
So I proved the theory wrong. And I believe I won a couple of bottles of vodka on that, which brings the total up to how much?
10.
10.
Right.
When will I ever see one?
Well, get it before my birthday.
When?
Before my birthday?
From you.
Yes, from me.
Not from other people.
No,
not like when I go to the store and buy them that you'll count that as part of the 10.
from me. I told you. You'll get it from me.
You're going to give them to, not listeners.
I'll give it to you.
10.
10 bottles of vodka.
10, because you know what? I think I'm done with the whole double or nothing thing.
Okay. I'll give it to you before my birthday.
He's going to hook up with a stewardess at Saska's and get those 10 minis.
Right. Which actually you can buy at some little convenience stores. Yeah.
10.
Oh, he's right.
10. I got it. I got
10.
it. 10.
10.
I got you covered, dog.
Word.
Okay, P. Diddy.
Well, you hang around Emily and Kloppo a lot.
Kloppo?
You know, Clucko.
Clucker?
Chucko. They're always talking street language.
Oh.
Especially Emily. That's her favorite thing she likes to say.
Well, I thought I was crabby.
I know.
You're really crabby.
Lighten up, man.
Grabbing at anything.
Jeez.
Who do we want to thank out there at the Rancho Bernardo Inn? We want to thank Blair and Heather and who's the guy that hooked us up out there yesterday?
There's two of them. Dominic Labate, who's on vacation, but Chris Labornier.
Beautiful. We had a just great time.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
You like the back man a lot, don't you?
You like the back stuff, don't you? You like it back there, don't you? I'll just be back here doing you.
Take my salad now, please.
Dave.
I wish Boyer might come over.
Chris Boyer come over and toss me a salad sometime. Sounds pretty damn good to me.
Look at Boyer's face probably getting all, oh, good.
You better wash that produce real well. Why are you doing you?
Oh, damn. I'm doing way. I'm doing way.
Hey, who is that?
That's Ruth.
Shut up, Bruce.
Thank you.
Dingbat. Dingbat. That's Chainsaw.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
I love when you yell at me when I didn't even say anything.
I know.
Hey, are we golfing tomorrow? You and me?
Yeah, I didn't know that was set, but yeah.
Yeah, you, me, and Steaks and all that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Set it up, would you?
I'll set it up today.
And you know what?
Boyer.
Chainsaw, stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was Boyer.
It was
Sorry, dude.
Boyer again. Shut up.
It's still Chainsaw.
Deaf.
Wow, he's really cursing me out today.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'll set it up.
Get it by my house, okay?
What's that?
Get it someplace by my house?
Where? What?
The golf.
Oh, yeah, I'll set it up by your house.
All right, thank you. See ya.
He'll build a course.
Good idea. He's challenging.
Yes, that's a good
challenged.
way to put it, Ruthie.
At this rate, I'm never going to be able to move my car by 10:30. I'm getting towed.
I know. Well, you
What?
We can motor through this if you
Yeah,
want.
never shut your damn pie
I
hole.
didn't say that. We've had a very, very busy show today.
All right, let's hear it. What else do we have
Scott
here?
Peterson's defense team is now pushing for the accused double murderer's much
Shut up,
anticipated
Peterson.
trial to begin as soon as possible. Let me hand it over now to Clear Channel's Chris
Filippi.
The latest.
Defense has found a motion.
I'm basically Wally Cox.
Hi. The defense has found a motion.
Marlon Brando will be happy to know that.
But at least when I'm done sounding like an innie, I get to say Chris Filippi,
Clear Channel.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
The defense has found a motion of readiness.
Like I'm a mobster or something.
God.
Oh my God, he's worse. It's working just as
By the way, if you sound like this, you could work at Clear Channel.
The defense has found a motion of readiness with the San Mateo Superior Court.
Right.
Defense attorney Mark Garriga says it would be fine with him if Peterson's double murder trial starts next week. That word comes after two other cases Garriga is handling in Southern California were delayed. Meanwhile, prosecutors also say they're ready to go. A pre-trial hearing is scheduled for Monday. That time, trial might get underway as soon as Tuesday. Chris Filippi, Clear Channel News, Sacramento.
Might get away until Tuesday.
The last 10 seconds.
I know.
Monday.
Don't tell me that guy's not sitting up there going,
Let's see how kind of a stupid voice I can put on.
Because he didn't used to sound
I
this
do character
bad.
voices for Clear Channel.
Steve, you're on the KGB. What's going on?
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Tip top. Talk to me, cuckoo.
I want to call Boyer out. He's such a douchebag.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Okay,
no
thank you
question.
for calling. Bye-bye. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
So instead of being just a name-calling idiot, why don't you cite some examples?
All righty then. Let's
Go ahead,
do that
Steve.
right now. Steve, what was your point?
He's always talking about in public restrooms, he's got to use the towel to open the door.
Yep. Right.
And he won't share a Coke can with his friends when he's a kid.
Right.
That's right.
But he's an around-the-world salad tosser.
Yeah.
You know what?
That is the ultimate hypocrisy.
What is that, Chris? You won't share a Coke with someone, but you'll be happy to toss their salad.
You know why?
Not
Dave?
just
Let me explain the difference. I think it's because, like, if you touch a door handle, you might have touched the hand of someone who might have had their hand on their private parts, and you don't want, like, those 3 degrees of separation. I think it's better if Boyer just goes straight to the tongue, right to the prize.
Really? Because Chainsaw, would you rather?
Oh.
Just flat out touch another guy's crank or
Touch the crank.
I'll give it a good massage. I'll give it a yank and a tug.
You darn right.
Damn right. That makes no sense, Boyer.
You are
know.
such
You're
a
just a walking contradiction.
germophobic hypocrite.
I totally accept that criticism. I don't understand it.
Thank you. Back to the news. Here, Shalita.
Okay. Defense attorneys for Martha Stewart and her stockbroker will continue their assault on the credibility and motives of the prosecution's key witness on Monday. No session today, so jurors have the weekend to contemplate emails sent out by brokerage assistant Douglas Faneuil. Correspondence mocks the domestic diva and describes her as rude.
The defense has found a motion of readiness with the San Mateo Superior Court.
Hey, it's my turn.
Mark Garriga says it would be fine with him if Peterson's double murder trial
Listen to him say
starts next
Monday.
week.
Listen to the last 10 seconds. It's just hilarious.
This is handling in Southern California were delayed. Meanwhile, prosecutors also say they're ready to go. A pre-trial hearing is scheduled for Monday. That time we could find out the Peterson trial might get underway as soon as Tuesday. Chris Filippi, Clear Channel News, Sacramento.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God.
Oh, man.
And you know what? That guy is Clear Channel News Employee of the Month.
Get out of my parking spot.
What would you rather have? Mark Garriga in Sacramento next Tuesday. Chris Boyer, Clear Channel News, Sacramento.
Technically, it's not San Diego. It's really Murphy Canyon.
Or Los Angelos. People say S, but it's O's. Los
Trial
Angeles.
gets underway next Monday. Chris Boyer, would you like my physical address?
It should be Los Angeles.
My work address. Chris Boyer, 9660 Granite Ridge Drive.
Technically, I'm in Thousand Oaks, not Sacramento, because that's where the Clear Channel Studios are located. It's a suburb.
Technically, from where my voice is emanating is Coles Mountain.
In Kearney, Via.
Good riddance.
I had to explain to my mother yesterday what Chris does on the show.
Who knows? knows?
No, and I said, we don't
Nobody
know.
knows.
We really know is he's
a squatter.
He's a squatter, and he irritates us a lot. She goes, you're really hard on him sometimes. I said, oh, Mom.
Oh, Mom.
Oh, good God. You haven't been here for 14 years.
He writes a weird 4-stanza poem
Right.
once a week.
And thank the gods above that my parents were out of town during both Fridays.
Are you sure about it?
Yeah,
They make their plane?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope. Oh, God.
I'll send a cassette to the March of Dimes.
You know, she's retired. Robert Blake's murder trial has been postponed indefinitely
Oh.
because yet another defense attorney has quit the case due to irreconcilable differences with Robert Blake. He won't shut up, and that's how he lost his 2 previous attorneys. So anyway, jury selection was supposed to be on February 17th. Now the trial could be delayed another 6 months while Blake gets the time to find a new attorney. And in other news, President Reagan's 93rd birthday is being celebrated today. 93. His hometown and college alma mater in Illinois will hold events along with the Reagan Presidential Library in Southern California.
He's as old as a California redwood.
He'll be at home
How long
with
do
his
they dig a
wife
hole through them so people can drive through them?
and daughter Patty Davis.
God, 93.
It's amazing. I mean, that was a horrible trauma he suffered in that assassination attempt. I mean, they had to cut him open and dig it out.
Yeah.
And he's still, that's 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
And until that, the only thing wrong with him was he had kind of a hair trigger thumb. He's an amazing man. Well, Janet Jackson wasn't the only one getting naked at the Super Bowl. Mark Roberts had no problem streaking at the game.
But the thing is, when I was naked on the pitch, on the field, why did anybody chase me straight away?
Damn
I was on
foreigner.
there for a good 30 seconds before anybody came on.
Damn
He's been streaking soccer matches and everything. He was wearing that referee's uniform, got onto the field unnoticed. He's upset because after stripping down and running onto the field, he took a big hit from New England Patriot linebacker Matt Chatham. And I'm sure, as everyone expected, some opportunistic moron has filed a proposed class action lawsuit over Janet Jackson's bejeweled right nipple. Terry Carlin, a bank employee from Knoxville, Tennessee, says that she and others were injured by Janet's boobie, as well as the rest of the Super Bowl halftime show. The defendants named in the lawsuit are Janet, Justin, MTV, CBS, and Viacom, the parent of both companies. So how was she exactly injured by the Supertime halftime show? Well, we don't know, because in the lawsuit written by attorney Wayne A. Ritchie II, it doesn't say. Here's what it does say, quote, as a direct and approximate result of the broadcast of the acts, Carlin and millions of others saw the acts and were caused to suffer outrage, anger, embarrassment, and serious injury. As for damages, the suit says they should not exceed the gross revenues of all the defendants for the past 3 years. That number would be in the billions. Good luck with that. NASCAR driver Bobby Labonte. Do you know him? Bobby
Labonte.
Got a race in the Daytona 500 in a car that's being repainted to advertise Mel Gibson's The Passion of Christ. Interstate Batteries chair Norm Miller says Gibson's studio will not be charged for this rolling ad because he believes the film about the crucifixion of Christ accurately depicts the most important 12 hours in history. Labonte drives number 18, a Chevy Monte Carlo for the Joe Gibbs racing team. Miller says the ad has is a gotta-do deal because he, Gibbs, and Labonte are all Christians, and the timing couldn't be better. Daytona 500 takes place a week from Sunday, 10 days before the film's February 25th release. The Humphrey Bogart collection highlights some of Bogey's best. It's a DVD box set. It will feature Casablanca, The Big Sleep with Lauren Bacall, where he plays Philip Marlowe, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and To Have and To Have Not. Oh, The Big Sleep as well, if I didn't say that.
You going to go see that, the Passion of the Christ thing?
It's all in Latin.
They said that originally, that it would be either in Aramaic or Latin.
Uh-huh. You know what? I'd be interested in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but much like the Titanic, I know how it ends. But yeah, I'd
Well,
probably be
Miracle. I
interested.
mean, we know how that ends. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'd see it, would you?
It's a very unusual move for this movie. You know?
For the race car driver thing?
Well, it's just, completely foreign language and no subtitles.
What?
It's very...
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It'd be like going to school or something. It'd be horrible.
I wonder if they'll have product placement in this movie. Jesus with a Coke up there on the cross.
Sure.
And a Marlboro.
Crown of Thorns made by Harry Winston.
Real estate development, because you can see your house from up here.
Location, location, location.
You actually know a joke, Ruth. Peter.
Good.
I can see your house from here.
Will there be a guy in the background with a John 3:16 sign? That's what I want.
And an afro wig, yeah.
That wasn't written yet.
Well, Barbershop 2, Cedric the Entertainer's waiting for the uproar to start. His character, Eddie, makes some more controversial comments in Barbershop 2, like the ones he made about Rosa Parks and Jesse Jackson that got
What
him
did he
into
say
trouble.
about Rosa Parks in the first one?
Oh, something about the bus and she wouldn't have had to stand or something like that. I don't remember now. I know.
What a comment!
That has pissed off a lot of people.
What did he say? Does anyone know?
Does anyone remember? No.
All right.
Something about her standing up on the bus.
Okay.
Well, Cedric says a joke that his character makes about the DC sniper could end up being just as controversial as the one he told about Rosa Parks in the first Barbershop movie.
We'll have to see what the basic public sentiment is, but this DC sniper joke could probably take on that same personality this year. It is quite a bit of a politically incorrect statement, but it's Eddie's particular point of view.
Cedric the Entertainer says you shouldn't have to worry about what you're saying when you're in a movie.
You're supposed to push the envelope. Hopefully come out.
Push the what?
You're supposed to push the envelope. Hopefully come out of the movie with something more than just I was entertained. It made me think about something.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's why we played it.
Oh no. Please tell me that Cedric the Entertainer is not thinking of himself as an actor who makes people think.
An actor?
You're supposed to push the envelope. Hopefully come out of the movie with something more than just I was entertained. It made me think about something. It caused me to, have an opinion, and especially inside the barbershop. It is truly a place where all gloves are off and people get to be themselves and say what you got to say. And you usually leave it inside the barbershop.
Yeah, you're kidding me, right?
Now, Cedric claims he did many of his own stunts in the movie, but I saw the first one, and what are you talking about? You got shaved?
I did most of the running. I did.
Running?
Yeah.
Did you die?
Most of the running, David.
I did most of the running. I did. I had a couple of little.
I did my own breathing.
I did most of the running. I did. I had a couple of little falls that I took and that I was willing to take in the movie. I didn't
big of you.
I didn't flip over the banisters and all those kind of stuff. I did jump onto the.
Just shut up right now.
I like Cedric.
We had a lot of fun. I did a lot of stuff in this movie.
It's a pompous ass.
One last Cedric the Entertainer. Speaking as his character Eddie tells Michael Jackson he could solve his problems by getting rid of all his kitty things.
I figure he have a rummy sale, and you get rid of the.
What?
I'm going to try to get Don't say. I want to see if I can figure it out myself.
I got it.
I figure he have a rummy sale.
Rummage sale. Yes.
Oh. I wanted to figure out my own.
You never.
I thought he said
You
roomies.
never got it. You're too stupid.
We'll be here till 11.
And you won't
I
have a
figure
car.
he have a rummy sale, and you get rid of the fast wheel and the llama.
Okay, hang on.
Come on.
I swear to God. I heard the llama.
I heard the llama. I didn't hear the first
llama.
one.
The fast wheel?
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
I swear to God.
Yeah,
I'm not picking it
You
up.
need to speak jive.
I figure he have a rummy sale, and you get rid of the fast wheel and the llama and the monkey. If I can get all that for $12, I can take that off your hand, and you'd be in less trouble, Michael. It'd be real simple. And take the Neverland down and lure the whole Peter Pan thing.
All righty then.
Thanks. Bye.
Helping out.
Bye-bye.
And how many hoofs did Miracle get from the hoof?
3.
3? Well, that's huge. Kurt Russell, who is so gorgeous, didn't want to just play the coach of the U.S. Olympic hockey team in the movie Miracle. He wanted to become Herb Brooks, so he kept his distance from his players just like Brooks did.
I think if you're going to play somebody who's alive, you're obligated to be as much like them as you possibly can.
Spent a lot of time with Herb before he did the movie.
Why do these?
Because they're asked. And the
Yeah.
studio says you have to
And
take
they said
5
you have to
minutes.
promote it,
You
yeah.
have to fill X amount of time talking about it, and so they just come off like idiots.
I think if you're going to play somebody who's alive, you're obligated to be as much like them as you possibly can. So you're obligated to find out as much as you can. I met Herb twice, spent full days with him, talked to him on the phone, had reams of tape and stuff. Do you want to be played in
Reams
Do
of
you want to be
tape.
represented as somebody you're not?
Reams of tape?
That's what he said.
Russell says this is more than just a hockey movie.
Sports aren't about sports.
Stop it.
Sports is a
What was that? Sports is not about sports?
No.
What?
Acting isn't about acting.
Sports aren't about sports.
Stop it.
Sports is a microcosm of life. You just have to get the people who are
Microcosm
watching
is
the story to understand
an important
the
sounding
detail
word.
of what goes into playing. The great thing I learned early on in my life, and Herb and I were in cahoots on, You cannot separate the player from the person.
No.
Good riddance.
So Kurt says he never hung out with the players so that they would treat him like a coach.
They kind of looked over their shoulder. They were looking at each other like, what's he about? Who is he really? What's his deal? And I thought that was just right for.
It was
and they were
purposeful
sort of like
because
that.
I wanted to
These guys
emulate
had to
that of
treat me
Herb
like
Brooks.
Herb.
David.
I had to have that respect.
God, is he still talking?
Yes, he is.
And one more, he says he deliberately kept his distance from the players so he wouldn't appear to be just one of the guys.
Because he asked me, he said, "Do you want to go skating today with the guys?" And I find myself saying,
Let's go
"No,
skating.
not today. I think I got to do this or I got to do that." And then finally I realized I didn't want to be out there on the ice with them. They were working on those plays for months, and I decided to work at a different rink. And then I realized, the best thing to do here was to just stay away.
Shut up!
40 years ago tomorrow, 4 lads from Liverpool hit America and changed music forever. Ringo Starr says he felt like it was a sci-fi movie with a big octopus pulling the plane out of the sky and into America. You would expect that from Ringo.
40 years ago tomorrow?
40 years ago tomorrow. Yeah,
They
and the
arrived.
anniversary, that's their arrival. And I remember that. Oh, and the news coverage, the girls
airport
going
scene, yeah.
crazy. Yeah. The anniversary of their appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show happens this Monday. Here's Ringo remembering the first time the Beatles came to America.
The plane flew over New York.
Nice fake accent.
No kidding.
The plane flew over New York.
Foreigner.
I really felt like some, sci-fi movie had gone down and a big octopus grabbed
Just
the
said that.
plane
Huh?
and was
Octopus's
dragging
garden.
us down to New York. I mean, it was all just so exciting. This was America,
Whatever.
Things we dreamt about and heard about, and all the music we loved had come out of.
Move along, drummer boy.
And then Paul McCartney says he's still overwhelmed by the greeting the Beatles got during their first visit to America.
There were millions of kids at the airport, which nobody expected.
Millions? There were not millions.
There were millions of kids at the airport, which no. There were millions of kids at the airport, which. There were millions of kids at the airport, which.
Stop it!
There were millions of kids at the airport, which nobody expected, and we heard about it
But
mid-air.
it didn't happen.
As I recall, because there were journalists on the plane, and the pilot can ring ahead, and
Ring
he said,
it.
tell the boys there's a big crowd waiting for them there.
Tell the boys the big
so
crowd.
we went, wow, God, this is, wow, we really made it.
Well, he's been on our show, and he was much more interesting then.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
If you see a lot of people wearing red today, it's not a coincidence. It's
Get the red
National
out.
Wear Red Day, an effort to get the word out about heart disease. Dr. Diane Adkins is with the American Heart Association and says women need to be aware of their risks.
The biggest risk factors that you can control are high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, tobacco smoking, obesity, physical inactivity, and diabetes.
Where's your red shell? Oh, I guess you hate women.
Yeah.
Nice.
Women. Is there one more cut from her?
She kind of sounds
Okay.
like Kim Thuck.
Little Kim.
Kind of sounds like her.
And then she talks about some of the signs that you may one day have a heart attack.
Most people think that heart attacks are a disease of men, and that's just not true.
So if you're a woman, you could be at risk. It's one of the big killers of women. The government says Americans, especially women, are getting fatter. Federal health researchers say it's carbohydrates that are doing it. The CDC says that compared to 30 years ago, women eat 335 more calories a day. That's the equivalent of a very large chocolate chip cookie. And since 1971, men have been eating more too, about 168 calories though. That's about a 12-ounce can of soda. The study says increased carb consumption accounts for a large measure of those extra calories. Obesity rates jumped from about 14% of U.S. adults in 1971 to nearly 31% in the year 2000.
Are you hungry?
I'm
I am.
very hungry.
I am like
starving.
ravenous right now.
Just starving.
Would you like a powdered meal replacement drink, David?
I want a steak.
Steak would be good. A suspected car thief is in jail in Oregon after a grandma tracked down her stolen pickup truck. Sylvia Gresham saw the guy driving her truck in the town of Springfield. She cut him off and yanked him out of the driver's seat.
And I probably shouldn't have smacked him around as much as I did, but I was so angry because this is the 5th time this has happened in our neighborhood. Our vehicles getting broke into. And that morning, my neighbors got their stereo stolen.
So this is the 41-year-old grandma and her buddy went searching for her stolen truck. When they found it, she pulled the 19-year-old driver out.
I need to take a crap and a nap, and I do not need an audience.
First, I was trying to pull him out of the truck to put him to the ground and put my foot on his throat so he wouldn't move. But he wouldn't let go of the steering wheel. He just kept hanging on to that steering wheel. And I told him, let go of the steering wheel and get your butt out of my car.
It's fun to be a girl, and it's fun to put on a dress and some shoes and feel pretty.
Yes. The kid had a knife. He's 6 feet tall. The grandma, 5 feet 1 inch tall. They arrested the kid later on. And finally this morning. Oh, don't act like you're sad. 24-year-old Waylon Williams of Wyoming tried to jump a pond in his Buick, just like the Dukes of Hazzard. Didn't make it, though. In fact, he wasn't even close, and he just left the car sinking in the pond, leaking oil and gas. He was fined $690 and sentenced to 270 days in jail for polluting state land, but that doesn't bother him. What really chaps his hide is, according to the county sheriff, he claimed he would have made it had he thought to build a ramp.
Am I supposed to play some?
No, I'm just kidding. That's in the news. Okay.
Good riddance.
Get a jingle, something. Good Lord,
You
we gotta
waved your
get out of
bony
here.
finger at me.
I'm waving it.
All right, we're going to do Chainsaw Sports next here on the KGB. Stand by, the Chris Boyer featurette. He just started writing it.
Hang on. Still working.
1910, the plastic straw was invented.
Crap!
This is KGB. Are we all done, Ruth?
We are.
Beautiful. Stand by. Chainsaw next. If you got Ford on the brain, you owe it to yourself to check out the Mossy way to buy. It's only a Mossy Ford because, you see, besides offering you low discount prices on a killer selection of new Fords, Mossy Ford also has the Instant Quote computer. Now, if you've been to Mossy Ford, you know what this is, but on the off chance that you have not, what's it like when you go to buy a car? You got that guy sitting in the office, let's sit down, let's talk this over, and they start doodling figures and running back and forth between his manager, and that whole BS game, that's gone when you're shopping at Mossy Ford. The Instant Quote computer screen, one screen shows you everything: your vehicle price, trade-in of your current car, the interest rate on your loan, your monthly payment, and more. It's all right there. This puts you in the driver's seat. Now, they've got plenty of 2004 Ford Mustangs, fresh from the factory. Where are they building those Ford Mustangs, Chris Boyer?
I'm sorry, I don't know. How's that for help?
I would think that a Mustang would be Detroit City, USA. They even have the brand new 2004 Celine Mustang, the ultimate high-performance show car. All wrapped up in the blanket of the Mossy way to buy. Check it out today, Mossy Ford, Mission Bay Drive in Pacific Beach, or go online, mossy.com. This is KGB San Diego, or KGBB Temecula, depending on where you are in this great nation of ours today. Let's get on the Sports Network and get into a super Southern California sports weekend. Here is the Chainsaw on KGB. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, David, and hello again, everybody in the sports world. Mark your calendars. Thursday night, March 11th, the San Diego Aztecs take on the San Diego State Aztecs, take on the University of Houston in the one and only debut of a spectacular Petco Park. You know, you can only break ground once, and this is the one. The 2004 Aztec Invitational goes on for 4 days. But that Thursday night, March 11th, the Aztecs hope to set the all-time attendance record for a single college baseball game. Got to beat 27,673. We're talking baseball. Tony Gwynn, their coach, visiting here in the studio last hour to talk it up. He's the coach at San Diego State, so he'll be breaking ground at Petco Park after all. You know, the big deal about that was for Tony to be the first, maybe even have him bat leadoff for the Padres the first time, you know, they break ground there, and it was supposed to be 2002, and he might have been able to hang on until then, but no. But this is the way they're going to do it anyway, so Tony will be breaking ground. Petco Park, March 11th, the Aztec Invitational. Heavyweight boxing champion Lennox Lewis is retiring from boxing, or is he? You know, boxers are notorious for retiring and then unretiring. Sugar Ray Leonard holds the record, having retired 4,342 times, and then staying retired only the once, which coincidentally was the final time he retired. Yeah, funny how it works that way. Anyway, Lennox Lewis explained why he's hanging him up.
It's very hard to achieve becoming heavyweight champion of the world. It's even harder to keep and stay at the top. I'm a person that believes if you can't give 110%, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Right now, I've given 110%.
Which, of course, is a mathematical impossibility. And maybe that's why he became champion. The ability to give more than 100%. The ability to do the impossible. That's why Spinal Tap was such a great band. They could turn their amplifiers up to 11 when everybody else could only turn them up to 10.
That's insane.
Nah.
You're stupid.
Well, then you better watch that movie again. Meanwhile, in the National
Incidentally, that's a nice suit you're wearing. Who made that suit for you?
Millions of South Vietnamese men, women, and children.
And the tie, where'd you get the tie?
Thailand.
Let's continue. Last week you told me you were always hot for a good game of Scrabble, is that right?
Night after night.
Then you like to watch television?
Night after night.
And you sleep in your pajamas with the one-piece feet?
Night after night.
And you're an expert on Anglo-Saxon history?
Yes.
All right. Queen Guinevere was Arthur's wife. With whom did she consort?
Night after night.
Skateball Association. Slack heel O'Neal phoned it in again. 3 for 15 from the free throw line. Lakers got crushed in Philly, 96-73. Slack heel got paid his $275,000 per game salary anyway. Gary Payton got himself ejected in the first quarter, but still collected his $51,000 per game. And Kobe Bryant disobeyed a direct order from Phil Jackson and did not show up for last night's game because of his finger injury, would have sat out anyway, and his legal difficulties, but still gets paid his $140,000 game salary. This is why Allen Iverson is my favorite player. 6'1", 170 pounds, dripping wet, and he gives all he has every second, every night. I remember watching him in person in Phoenix a couple of years ago, and I'd heard stories about him being a punk and all that, and then I watched him. He played every second all out. Never strutted around, never showed off, never shimmy-shaked. He just played hard and always does. Shaquille O'Neal, he's stealing money. And finally, a Tennessee woman has filed a class action lawsuit against Janet Jackson and everyone involved in the bare breast stunt, claiming it caused her serious injury.
Jeez.
Oh, please, what did she do? Bang her head on the TV trying to get a better look? In other sports,
Be here this afternoon, 5:20, for the Chainsaw Afternoon recap on the Mojo Nixon Show.
Thank you, David. It is 10:17 and 9 seconds. This is your 101.5 KGB Sports Network. Oh, my.
Chainsaw brought to you by the La Costa Resort and Spa. Try a winter golf card. You're going to enjoy 50% savings plus a ticket to the Accenture Match Play Championship. Call La Costa, 760-385-GOLF.
The ultimate drive. Oh, you're so sweet to call me from the road on Valentine's Day.
Well, that's why I signed up for a Singular Nation plan. And now I never pay long distance or roaming.
Oh, that's great.
It's my way of saying, well, you know.
I know what exactly.
I want to be there for you, Belinda. And with Singular Nation, I never have to pay long distance or roaming charges.
But
no matter where I am and no matter where you are.
But you...
I can still call to say...
What?
You know.
Well,
Plus, Singular Nation gives us 5,000 nationwide mobile-to-mobile minutes. Minutes I'll use to tell you how much I...
Say it!
You know.
So, Mark, would you say the sweater I sent you is more of a sage green or an olive hue?
Olive hue?
I love you too, Mark.
Sage green, sage green.
Now at Singular, get the brand new Motorola V400 with integrated camera and high-resolution color screen for $99.99 after rebates. Visit Singular.com or stop by your Singular store today. Singular fits you best. Part of the SBC family.
Some restrictions and other monthly charges apply. Phone price before $100 mail-in rebate is $199.99. 2-year service agreement required. See store for details.
I love golfing free with Dave. No one has to pay. Wondering if Bromo's gay. What guy's he gonna lay? I love Route 66. She don't like guys with. She likes going down on chicks and butt yardstick. And I love your show too.
Well, if you started out your day with, your company threatening to tow your car or difficulty with transportation, you might have been a Krabby Appleton this morning, but this is going to put a great big smile on your face and a nice warm spot in your pants because it's time for the Chris Boyer featurette. And we give you now the host, the creator, and the voice of the Chris Boyer featurette, Chris Boyer.
Thank you, David.
I didn't even try.
Slacker. That's so sad.
Slacker.
It's Friday morning time for a look back at This Week in History on the Boyer Featurette. It was this week, in 1893, that Elisha Gray of Highland Park, Illinois, patented a machine called the Telautograph. It automatically signed autographs to documents, freeing up those who would be normally signing those things. 1985, Sports Illustrated released its annual swimsuit edition. It was the biggest regular edition of the magazine's history, weighing in at a hefty 218 pages. It featured Paulina Poroskova and Cheryl Tiegs, along with Christy Brinkley. 1971, NASA astronaut Alan B. Shepard, on our show, took a 6-iron that he had stashed away inside his spacecraft and swung at 3 golf balls on the surface of the moon. 1987, this was a proud week for America's yachtsmen and egotistical a-holes as Dennis Conner brought America's Cup back up, defeating Australia's Kookaburra 3 with his Stars and Stripes 87 entry.
One time I put my penis on a steak. It was a baseball steak, a teriyaki baseball steak.
He was mean to a little girl.
He was mean to a little girl, so I put my penis on a steak.
This was the week in 1959 that 22-year-old Buddy Holly, 28-year-old J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper, 17-year-old Richie Valens died in an airplane crash near Mason City, Iowa.
Good riddance.
All right. 2001, the XFL debuted. The league was created by Vince McMahon, mastermind behind the WWF. 1863, this week, Samuel Langhorne Clemens decided to use the pseudonym Mark Twain. 1887, this was the first Groundhog's Day, this week in 1887 in Puxatawney, PA. 1935, Leonard Keeler conducted the first test of a polygraph machine, the lie detector. And it was this week in 1971, the soundtrack of the movie Love Story went gold. But finally, we celebrate this great event on the Boyer Featurette. Drawn by the bright footlights, like a moth to the flickering flame, and the prospect of wearing makeup, and the hoots of audience acclaim, city to city and stage to stage, a calendar of periodic appearance, the Blackfacers return every year, providing there's no interference. A touring band of performers in your town soon. If you'd like, I'll tell you how to get tickets to what's called the Minstrel Cycle. A touring band of minstrels opened their first show in 1843 this week at the Bowery Theater in New York City. The original... This is just so incredibly insignificant relative to the quality of the poem.
Yeah.
I had nothing this week. On the feature right here on the 101.5 KGB Dave Shelley and Chainsaw Show.
Could have gone with the Alan Shepard item.
Something more.
Yeah. I mean, you could have used butter and
balls and putter and all.
Kick it! You wake up late for school, man, you don't want to go.
Today's show has been brought to you by Channel 8, BMW of San Diego, Outback Steakhouse, the Rancho Auto Group. Thank you, friends. Reminder, Tony Gwynn's Aztecs are going to be playing the very first game at Petco Park on March 11th, where they hope to set a brand new college baseball attendance record. Tickets for that game go on sale tomorrow. Thanks to Tony coming in and hang with us here today at the KGB. Chris Boyer's on the radio. That'll be tomorrow, the Best Of show from 8 to noon.
If you missed the Tony Gwynn interview, we'll have that for you on the Best Of DSC. Lash Wednesday, Mike Aruzioni on the phone along with Tim Conway. Saturday starts at 8 here on the KGB.
Promos working tonight, 5 o'clock at Saquon. Your chance to win the Loverboy Valentine's gift basket, which includes tickets to see Loverboy at Saquon on March 11th. That's tonight. Promo. All right, thank you, friends. Brian Schock plays classic rock next year on the KGB San Diego. Mojo Nixon this afternoon. And then tonight, Coco Lewis is on the radio. Have a great weekend. Love your show.